Baby.
See these niggas be capping and lying, they really not like that. Nigga play like he won't get his life. Still hang with the killers and niggas in our black. Hell yeah, but we like that. Ayy, New Year, so we stacking for scat packs. Just hit a lick and pulled out from the Hellcat. Only smoke pressure, the best you can smell that. Turn the 2, 8, 2 or 3 with a scale at. Ayy, need bows, we gon' wrap it and mail that. Just put a 4 in the poppin' and fell back. Giving them trouble, they like where the help at. These niggas pussy, they twat, they big cat. Big racks all on his head and they kidnap. Ayy, no cap, this shit here, big facts. Kicking in doors at the kickback, get back like run the pockets, let me get that. Ayy, 30 shots with 100, come with me. Wasn't proving no points, so we hit him with 60. Crib Street still screaming R.I.P. Nipsey. I come from the Grove, but the knife niggas with me. Ayy, 600, that shit kinda in me. I jumped off the porch to the block in the trench. I'm rocking designer, this Glock in my brick. It's the bitch from the back, nigga, buy some inches. 6 days and 6 nights, we was out on the mission. On the 7th, we seen him and caught him and flipped. Only right that we hit everybody that's with him. I been causing hell ever since I was little. I can make a bitch shit like I'm Dr. Doolittle. Don't reach for this chain, turn your ass to a noodle. Yeah, I missed the trouble, I thought that you knew. Bitch.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. What's good with everybody? Twin, you better keep it down before I hit another song. Talking about let's go. Don't rush me. I was on the phone. Let me just say this. I believe, yesterday I wasn't here. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Twin, I believe you had a birthday yesterday. I believe Fame Rothstein had a birthday yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I think Jenny from the block had a birthday as well yesterday. I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Just going by some of the things that I seen on my how you scroll on your social media and you see something. Happy birthday to you all and many more birthdays to come. Hey, check it. I hate to say short show because I don't know how this one's gonna go today, man. I don't know. I don't know how this one's gonna go today. But peace and love to everybody, even those that think that I'm hating on you or whatever. The truth is what it is. One thing I've learned in life is that Twin said my birthday in April. What was I thinking? I thought your birthday was yesterday. I don't know why some information came to me saying that it was your birthday. Maybe it was your twin's birthday yesterday. I don't know. Oh, man. But happy birthday to Fame. Happy birthday to Jenny. I know both of them had birthdays yesterday. And I do know them for sure. So happy birthday to you guys. Happy belated birthday. It was yesterday, I believe. I did send out my birthday greetings online to you both. Twin, I wasn't really sure if it was actually your birthday, so I didn't send you shit. You know what I mean? I didn't send anything because I wasn't quite sure. So I'm glad I didn't take the time to send you one of those little birthday cakes and all what I do to the people who are on here. There's Fame right there. He says, hey guys, Fame is here. I'm 50 years old and 1 day old. I'm about to talk that old in sugar honey iced tea. That's what he said. See, now he can stop talking about old people because now he's one of them, right? He always says old people this, old people that. Old people don't like people. Old people don't like kids. Old people don't this, old people that. Now your old ass have to say we don't like, we don't get along, or something of that nature. Yeah, you could say we, incorporate yourself in that. That all being said, man, I got confused last week. No, it wasn't last week, it was Monday. I was on the air and I said my wife and I are going to Chicago at the end of the month for the taste, and I had it mixed up with something else. I'm actually going to the Taste of Chicago this weekend. It's from Thursday, I believe. Well, actually, it starts today, the 8th through the 12th, I believe. So we're going to go Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday. Probably spend most of the day in Chicago on Sunday. And then I guess we'll probably, based on what I see our flight itinerary is, it's a late flight on Sunday. So I'm assuming that we're just going to stay on the closing day. I think it shuts down at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock that evening on Sunday or something of that nature. So that'll give us some time to, I want to try it all. I love Chicago pizza, and I can't get it all in one day because I don't have them type of taste buds that can eat one thing and then try another piece of something else and be like, this one tastes better than that one. I still have the taste in my mouth from the last pizza, so I got to eat like a slice or two, and a slice. I have to eat a slice and then wait an hour or two, maybe even 3 hours before I try another taste of a different brand pizza. And I can't eat another slice right after the other slice because it just doesn't work out. It's just not. I can't get it. I don't know who can do that, but I watch these food critics and these food tasters on MasterChef, and they try it, and when they try it, they then go to the next plate and try that one, and they can. I guess they had these spider senses in the mouth. They can sense the other plate. What's in the ingredients. I don't know. I don't know how they're able to do that, but I can't do it. Maybe they drink water. Maybe it's something that they do drink. Maybe on MasterChef or something like that, they drink something that clears, because I do that when I go to places where I'm trying different fragrances. I like colognes and things of that nature. I try not to be that old head. What I'm saying? I try not to be that old head dude and been wearing the same shit for the last 22 years. I try to change up my fragrances every other year. Maybe, every 2-3 years, I try to change up something. And right now, I shouldn't give my secret away. But right now, fellas and ladies who may be buying something soon for their husbands or their significant other, the boyfriend or the dude that you've been with for 27 years that won't marry your ass. I'm just playing. I'm talking about my uncle, but I'm just playing. But that all being said, if you're looking to get your man some cologne, what I've been wearing here recently for the last almost 2 years, because it's hard to let it go. I don't want to be that old ass brute dude, wearing brute. But for the last 2 years, man, I've been wearing something that's been pretty damn dope, and it's called Yves Saint Laurent. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Yves Saint Laurent, the clothing line, or the Italian cut line, but the fragrances are dope. They have 2 different fragrances in Yves Saint Laurent, and they really should be paying me for this right now. But I'm gonna let this one slide because I want my fellas to walk out the doors John blazing. I want them smelling better than weed. Okay, y'all walking around here smelling like ounces of weed and shit. And that's not a good thing. But anyway, Yves Saint Laurent, and I wear the Y. It's Yves Saint Laurent, and it's the Y version. It's the one that has the built-in Y in the bottle, and it's the dopest. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't for the weak. You're gonna pay for it. Okay? You're gonna pay a little bit, but that's why it should be a gift from your woman, or treat yourself, fellas. I promise you. It'll take you somewhere. It'll take you places you ain't never gone before. It's special. It is unbelievably special. You don't have to put a lot on, so don't take a bath in it. You can dab it on a little bit here, shroom, little spray here, and this and that. I'll be honest with you, fellas. I get compliments on my cologne a lot. I mean, it's not me, obviously. Colognes do smell different on different body tones and body textures. Like you can't like go to the damn gym and shoot hoops, go in the locker room, not wash you know what, and then spray that shit on and think that you're gonna walk out smelling like $1 million. That's not how that quite works. So make sure that you do it proper and bathe yourself. Here's one thing that I do know. They don't have like shower gels and stuff like that. It's just the cologne. The cologne is all you need. I do use a soap that is unscented. Okay, I don't like scented soaps. I don't like scented deodorants and stuff like that. I use all unscented toiletries. That's just how I am, because I don't want my cologne to be mixed in with, soaps or underarm, what do they call it? Deodorant smells and stuff like that. It steals. It's still, it's still the smell. It take a little bit of the smell. It changes it. You can't have on brute underarm deodorant and then put on some Yves Saint Laurent. That's just not how it go. Let me move on, man. So yeah, the Taste of Chicago is this weekend. It starts today, all right, but it's going in through Sunday. And I plan on going there this weekend, have some good food. I'm a pizza head. I love deep dish pizzas. I don't know any place in this country. I don't know any place in the world that has better pizza than Chicago. I just don't know. If it was up to me, I wouldn't even go to a fancy restaurant on a Friday night or a Saturday night. I wouldn't even do it. I would sit down, I would eat pizza for lunch, and I would eat pizza for dinner. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm like that. But it's all good. So I plan on going in, trying to try some new different brand pizzas or whatever. They say that, there's going to be some people that I want to try this year that I didn't try last year. I might not even go to my favorite spot. I may just try everything that I try this weekend will probably be new. It'll all be new. So moving on. Can I ask? Yeah, Tiffany Daniels. My God. Oh, I used to wear Bond. She said Bond 9, Governor Island for Men is fire. Listen, I don't know if you know this or not. I know we've known each other for a while, and I know that you've probably sniffed me. I'm just playing too. But I actually used to wear Bond. I used to wear Bond 9. Bond has like, I don't know how many, Tiff, 50. Bond is only available. It's an exclusive cologne at Saks Fifth Avenue. You can't get it anywhere else. But I think they have like 30 different fragrances. And Bond is what it's called. It's Bond, but it's Bond 1, Bond 2, Bond 3. I wore Bond 9. Tiffany just said Bond 9 is fired. That's the one I used to wear, Tiff. I promise you. I used to wear Bond 9. I would get it at Saks Fifth Avenue. They rip your head off for it, but it's definitely worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely worth it. I had trouble trying to switch. When I wore Bond, I wore it for a while. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to divorce Bond 9. It was hard for me to get away from it. But I eventually did. I did. Okay. I'm starting to hear all of this old ass shit. The one I heard was, okay, Donna said Dre Carr. Okay. You're getting out of hand, Donna. Somebody else said one. Let me see what that one was. Dre Carr. I don't want to steal the thunder of Dre Carr, but I'm going to say something about Dre Carr in this other one that somebody else. There it is. Ed said Cool Water. He said, shit, Cool Water still go hard. Let me just say something to y'all right now. If they selling that shit in CVS or Walgreens, it's not going hard anymore. If you could get Cool Water at a bus stop in the bathroom, it's not hard anymore. If you could stop off at Love's when you're driving on the expressway, driving on 75 or wherever you coming from out of town, and you stop at a truck stop and you go in the bathroom, this is when I knew it was time for me to stop wearing what was that? Aramis or what was it? No, it was Geo. Remember I told that story years ago about Geo? You couldn't listen. I wore Geo like Brute. Couldn't get away from that shit. Geo was the shit. So I would put on Geo and I thought I was in business. And then soon as I seen that shit in the bathroom on the expressway in that 25 cent, put 3/4 in, put 75 cent in, and you hit that button. Y'all know what I'm saying. You hit that button and that shit spray on you. And it's in the bathroom. And right above the Geo sign is if you want your, sexual acts and shit all written in pencil. And I'm like, I ain't about to be wearing this shit smelling like no trick. You know what I'm saying? If you can find your shit in the bathroom somewhere on the road, it's not hitting anymore. Or if you can buy that shit at CVS, it's not exclusive. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame or try to act bad on anybody. I'm just being honest with you, man. Like, there's just certain things that are built for class. And I just think personally, quite honestly, my personal opinion, I think colognes are one of the things that are supposed to be exclusively, it's just supposed to be very classy. You know what I mean? I don't think people want to go around walking smelling like toilet water, the blue shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. And I don't want to smell like, Al 7 and CVS. Hold on, let me see. Let me see what's going on. I'm returning a message to a client. All right. Yeah. So get mad at me if you want to. All right. So, damn, Donna, you got to get out the house a little bit more. You got to stop pulling up these damn high school ass colognes. You said Drake Carr. I ain't wore Drake Carr since the 9th grade. Then you come back and say Polo. Don't nobody wear that shit no more. Donna, we wear Polo jeans. We might wear a Polo shirt still. But nobody's, do they make Polo perfume? I don't know. But Polo for men, I think that shit, I don't think people wear. I don't know. Okay. Maybe different circles of men still rock it. Maybe, maybe that's the taste, that's the smell or the taste that you like, Donna. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. If you put a brother to your left wearing some Yves Saint Laurent, the Y, and then a brother wearing that green bottle Polo shit, Polo don't stand a chance. He gonna smell like Withrow High School, East Wing, walking down the damn trying to get to history class. That's what the Polo dude gonna sound. That's what he gonna smell like. All right. Yves Saint Laurent, he gonna smell like $1 million. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Here's the key to success when it comes down to certain things, whether some want to hear it or not. The first thing you got to do each day, I'm talking to my fellas, all right, to my brothers, to my fellas, to my money getting, go get it as partners, okay? Y'all already know when you wake up every day and you feel good and you smell good, you know it's gonna be a good day, and you know you about to go get this paper. You know it's gonna be a good day, and here goes the thing: when you feel good, it's hard to knock you down. You can hear no, I don't think so. You can have appointments cancel on you, and it's like, okay, money gone. But then you turn around and you feeling good, and it's hard to tear you down. It's hard to tear your self-esteem down. It's hard to tear your momentum down. Look, part of my regimen each day is to walk out of the house feeling like $1 million. Because I say to myself, okay, I'm gonna make more than what I made yesterday. Okay, my goal each day is to be better than yesterday. If yesterday was real bad, then it's not that hard to be better today. But if yesterday was real good, I got a challenge on my hands. Every day is a challenge for me. That's how I see it. I don't worry about what people tell me I can't do or where we can't go or what we can't. I don't worry about that shit. I leave that up for other people. There's a lot of people who fall victim to that what we can't do shit, and that's a crowded room. That's a crowded space. That's a crowded space. So I like to be in rooms that are hard to get in. You feel me? Because when you get in those rooms, you know what's next? Maintaining it. it's hard to stay in them rooms. It's hard to be valued. It's hard to stay, it's hard to stay relevant when you're doing something really productive. It's really hard to do that. And I mean, you know, I was listening to, I don't know if I was listening to a podcast or whatever, but I was listening to, what's his name? Kevin Hart. He was telling a story about a billionaire. I guess he's a friend of his. And I should have played the clip. Maybe I'll burn the clip and let you guys hear it out of his mouth, because it seems, you know, sometimes it's the messenger and people receive things a little bit better when it comes from different people. But just to give you a little bit of idea of what was going on in this conversation, he said that this billionaire friend of his told him, he said, man, listen, it's something about baseball. He said, if everybody had an opportunity to get up there and stand up at the plate and hit a pitcher that threw 100 miles an hour, and they'll give you $1 million if you can hit this pitcher's pitch. He said, man, that line will be wrapped around the building. Did anybody hear this? Anybody heard this one before? If not, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to say it right now, and I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. If they lined up, if they had a pitcher that threw 100 miles an hour, okay, and they'll give you $1 million if you can hit his pitch. I don't mean foul ball. I'm talking about a base hit. If you can get a base hit. He said, man, they would line that it'll be a line around the building trying to get in there and get this guy to hit this guy's pitch. He said, everybody will try it. He said, but once they get up to the plate, swing and miss, foul tip, don't make contact at all, he said they'll walk off. That line becomes smaller and smaller. He said, there's only a few of us, because you know that line was around the building and you had your opportunity to go up to the plate and swing for $1 million. There's only a few of us that would swing and miss and go get back in line and wait again. Are you cut like that? Some people try one time and they just give up. They don't try again. And then you know what happens? They become critics. They'll actually influence those that are striking out, foul tipping, even those that foul tipped and did something that they weren't able to do. They'll stand there and they'll champion failure. Man, that shit is impossible. That guy throw 100. That wasn't 100 miles an hour. That was 105. They lying to us. Ain't nobody ever gonna hit him. That's why they giving you $1 million if you can do it, because they know you can't do it. Come on, man. We're gonna go do something different. I'm not listening to that person. I'm getting my ass back in line. And it seems like every time you go back to get in line, that line gets shorter and shorter. That's why I don't have a problem. I'm not sore, angry, or messed up at anybody that keep telling you that you can't do something, because that just leave more for me, because I know you can. But if you give up, that just leave more for those that's going to go back and get in line. I know that you can do it. I know you could be successful. But you got to stay away from those that just put you in that headspace of, man, that ball coming too fast, bro. This is impossible. Or are they telling you, man, I didn't grow up playing baseball, man. I didn't grow up. I don't have proper training. I don't have this. They coach you on everything that you need to know to fail. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck that. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm getting back in line. I stood in line once for $1 million. I'm going to stand in line again for $1 million. And I'm going to try again. And I'm going to keep trying. And if I keep failing, hey, it beats the person that went off and did zero anyway. They gave it one attempt. And then, you know, there's a group of people that won't even get in the line. They won't even get in the line. They'll sit over there and look at they'll look at that line of people over there and joke on them. Look at them dumb motherfuckers over there thinking they about to hit that man. That man throw 118 miles an hour. See, they'll keep throwing yeast on it. It'll keep getting worse and worse. They'll try to talk you out of it. They'll make it impossible. They'll make everything impossible for the possible. Man, fuck that. Don't go over there, bro. What you need to go over there for, bro? We got everything you need right here. Come on with us. That's why it's so crowded in them rooms. That's why Monday I told y'all, bro, listen, the majority is not always right. Matter of fact, the majority is usually a group of people that are wrong. Who heard that? Who heard that? The majority of people who stick together and just team up and feel a certain way and think a certain way, those usually the wrong people. Not people, but they have the wrong idea. And then they put labels on the people who are succeeding. They call them names to make you not even want to be one of them or make you ashamed to be one of them. You feel me? It's a manipulative trick that people who can't win, they win. That's how they win. And I say to myself, damn, bro, you smart enough to manipulate people. You smart enough to take over the mind of people so easily. You know, you could be dope if you did this shit for real. Like if you were really positive and coaching people, but those type of people find their lane and they know how to talk to who they talking to. And they also know how to leverage people like that. If you ever notice, most people that are champion bullshit, they usually the ones that's benefiting off the bullshit. They don't benefit off you not succeeding. They benefit off of you. They do. They benefit off of you not succeeding. Some kind of way they'll find the space in that lane of getting something off of your failures. But see, they never look at the fact that if you succeed, that they can make more off of you or do more. I'm in the leverage business. I'm in a business where I don't look to make 100% of a profit. I learned long ago that you have to leverage yourself. You leverage people. Put yourself in a position where you can leverage people. In other words, if I want to open up something, or let's just say a store. If I want to open up a store, I find someone that I know. And I don't care what the store is. I don't care what the store is. Let's just say it's a store that sells sneakers, shoes. I don't care if it's a shoe store, women's shoes. All I want to do is find me a lady that know her shit, or find a man that know what he doing, and I'll let him make 65%. I just want return on my money. Give me 30%, 35%. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? That's leveraging people. That's making money when you're not around. That's learning how to, get a piece of the pie, even though you're not putting in all the work. And a lot of people don't look at things that way. We tend to want to be the head man in charge. We tend to want to always be the boss and all that old goofy ass shit. I told y'all a long time ago, I don't have anybody that calls me boss. And I don't like if my kid come home talking about I got a job and my boss said, what? Oh, that was the third grade. My daughter told me a long time ago. My boss said, I said, nah, sweetie, you don't have a boss. You have a supervisor, someone that supervises that position. You don't have a boss. We don't talk like that in this house. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk that shit in this house. All right. You have a supervisor. You have someone that's training you or supervising that your department or that position. But don't ever say boss. You don't have a boss. And I don't require people to call me boss. I've never had anybody call me boss. Ask Tiffany Daniels. And I don't mean it like that. She know the circle when I do stuff. I'm not a boss. I'm a partner. I'm a partner. I'm a partner in business. People that run the offices, I consider all people who even work for me. I'll consider them to be partners because I want them to have the same type of value in what they do as if I do. Like if it's me actually doing it. Let me move on. Let me go to the phone lines real fast, man, so I can make it a little bit more about y'all real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Uh-oh, hold on, caller. Hold on. Let me cut you up. Okay, caller, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Is this Fame?
Yeah.
Well, happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for holding. What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing. A milestone birthday. I'm kind of excited about it because now I get to say that old nigga shit. Like these young men today was like, hey, how you doing, school? I was like, I can't call it. If I call it, I might spoil it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Rhyming like them old dudes be doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing, that is really chapping my ass right now is the amount of people, and I'm sure you're going to do this.
Okay.
At some point, when it comes to that Noah Wells kid.
Who is that? Help me out.
In Mississippi, he went on some little boat trip with a bunch of white dudes, and he was the only black dude there, and everybody come back alive except him.
Okay. Now, I haven't read
gave
any.
Him his phone, gave his phone to his mama.
Fame, quick thing. Yeah. Just give you a little update real quick, bro, on that. I heard about it, but I haven't heard anything that's really solid. Like, I haven't heard it from real good sources. I kind of seen some things, so I can't really speak too much on it, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna let you say what you say, but I don't know much about that situation. But go ahead, bro. Let us know what's happening.
No, I was gonna say it was okay. Yeah, obviously we want the facts to come. Because people are going around, on social media, black and white, but the black people are trapping my ass, talking about we need to see what the facts say from the story, this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. All the kids involved, they done lawyered up and scrubbed this, or privatized their social medias.
Which the lawyer told them to do that.
Yeah, which the lawyers done told them to do that. And then one girl did say she was going to come forward, the girl that he was supposedly involved with down there.
Okay.
But these black people are coming out talking about some, wait till all the facts come out, and then you got these other goofy Negroes out here showing all the pictures of them being the only black person with white people, and it's like, we don't need that right now. This isn't one of those situations where you need to show just how good white people are to you. You know what I'm saying? That's a little corny. This young man is dead. He's a young college athlete, if I'm not mistaken, or is about to be a college athlete.
Okay. Like
he was on his way to college or whatever. And you all are trying to make light of it, to show how good you get along with white folks. That's some sucker shit. Some coon shit that y'all doing. Like, knock it off. If we're gonna wait for the facts to play out, then we're gonna do that. But it's got nothing to do with you, Negroes.
So is there any evidence that he was murdered?
Well, the body was just drug out on the 4th, so I guess the autopsy.
It was drug out, like drug out of where?
Out of the body of water.
Oh,
they were out in the Gulf of Mississippi.
Okay, like I said, I don't have much information, but I am one of them type of people that I believe in passing judgment based on some evidence of what things look like and what the surroundings, and I don't listen to what people say. I tend to need concrete for me to understand, to have an opinion. But go ahead, bro.
Well, no, because the thing is, oftentimes, way too many times, I can't say often than not, but way too often, we see a group of people go out, and there's one black person goes with them, and oftentimes the black person doesn't come back alive. We've seen that with that group of married couples having a pajama party in Texas. There's only one black person there. She's the only single there. And she ends up dead among 6 other white people that were at that party. Like, we've seen this happen a million times over the years.
Okay. I can't really think of a whole lot of times, but I can think of some times where some little kids, some little sisters and some brothers went off to Cancun, Mexico with other brothers and sisters, and they didn't come home, and some went over to Dubai, some went down to Mexico, and they didn't make it. My thing is, did y'all have that same level of concern for those little brothers and sisters that didn't make it back?
We did. Shanquilla? I don't know down there, that was her name, Shanquilla, or something like that.
Where was all the outrage when
those girls basically jumped her?
Well, yeah, they showed that on video, and she came up missing. So there was evidence that she probably was murdered. I didn't hear nobody. I didn't hear it peep. I don't hear nobody talking about what we need to be doing and but watch the type of kids you go down. I ain't hear none of that shit.
No, because that is very whether it's the most important thing or not, but that is some salient advice. When you're moving out into the suburbs, and your friends don't have and your kids don't have a black friend base, this type of shit is what you're risking.
Okay.
Because trust me, or
to be fair,
into some teenage mischief, and only the black kid gets charged.
To be fair, if you get a white boy and they lose everything and they have to come down to the hood and live, and he getting some black friends, I think he better watch out from getting shot and killed down the way too, right?
Never. He gets protected.
He get protected by
worst thing happens to the white kid that has to
man. This ain't the type of show I want to have.
The
today.
Worst thing that happens to the white kid that has to assimilate to the black culture is he gets an accent.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's the worst thing that happens to him oftentimes. As long as he ain't down there doing nobody dirty, crossing the street game is the street game. As long as you don't cross nobody dirty, you won't have a problem in it.
So you saying innocent people don't get killed in the streets?
Innocent people do get killed in the streets, but then again, how innocent are they? They just, that killing that they got killed, that might have been one that wasn't for them at that time, but they owed that.
No, I can think of. See, here's the difference between me and most people. When I make comments, I generally can back up what I'm saying. Most people just say shit just to be saying it for the thrill or for the explosion of the words or saying something. Generally, when I say something, I usually have some type of, I can go on and on and on about what I'm talking about. So the 3 children that were murdered in downtown Cincinnati in the last year and a half, they probably had it coming. Is that what you're saying?
There's a possibility. That's what they were into.
Well, you had one little girl that was on
bullets ain't got no names.
I know.
You don't know.
I know.
There's no such thing as a straight bullet.
Well,
like Jadakiss said, there's a message in everything.
Yeah, but
trust me, even a bullet.
Yeah, but what you just said is people generally have it coming. You didn't say those words, but you said if people out in these streets getting knocked off and getting shot and killed, they probably did something before or they had it coming. That's kind of like what you just said. And I'm telling you that innocent people get shot and killed being in these neighborhoods, and they just innocent. They just happen to be bystanders.
Rare is that person who's just 100% innocent.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that it's a low percentage, but
that's all I'm saying.
But that wasn't what we were saying. We were saying
but that's all I was saying. That's you try to extract more than what I said.
Not necessarily. It's just like when I say something, if there's one occasion or 2 occasions, you'll try to, you kind of build it up to be, well, it's like me saying, it's like me saying,
recognize that there are people that are born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. Yeah. There's an exception to every rule.
Yeah, I agree with that. What else you got though, Fame?
You were talking about my clothing line.
Your clothing line? What was your clothing
Laurent?
Line? Huh?
You were talking about the Yves Saint Laurent clothing line?
Oh yeah. I was talking more about the cologne though.
I sent them a business proposal to commission their name to make a line of big and tall clothes called Yves Saint Croissant.
Okay. I don't know how you thought of that, but real. How did that work out?
Fun.
Okay.
It worked out well, but hey, I just found about an hour ago, I just found a breeder that does wolf dogs. I'm trying to talk to him about how do I get one to me, and at what price. So there may be another addition to the Rothstein plan.
We'll get you one for your birthday. And
happy
birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. And now you can stop talking about old people as if they are some other, group of folk. Now
there's old N-words and there's old as hell N-words. You one of them.
I'm one of, bro. You know what, Fame? The more I talk to you and the more I see you, I do remember you from the Boys and Girls Club. I do remember your little dusty ass down there. You had
that's what I'm saying. I was never dusty.
You was
my mama
dusty.
had a job. I was never
so
dusty.
What? I was dusty.
My mama had a
job. I was dusty too. Oh, come on, bro.
I always had a pair of Air Force Ones, Jordan, something.
Huh?
I always had a pair of Air Force Ones, Converse weapons.
Oh,
Jordan,
bro, they didn't even
something.
have Air Force
Ones. I was never
Ones.
dusty.
They didn't even have Air Force Ones back then. So what? We know you.
They came out in '82. What are you talking about?
Okay, I know you wasn't wearing Air Force Ones.
Ewing Adidas, something.
Number one,
something.
I was at the Boys Club. I wasn't even there right around that time. So I know that what you're talking about. It was before '82.
No, it wasn't, because I wouldn't have been roaming the streets by myself before '85.
You were at the Boys Club, bro. You wasn't in the streets. What you talking about?
Okay, I'm 76. I was 82. I'd have been 6 years old. I wasn't walking to the.
So you had on. Wait a minute, hold on.
The bus to the Boys Club by myself.
So to be fair, you had on Air Force Ones at 6 years old.
At about 7, 8 years old, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Maybe it wasn't '82, but I had a pair Air Force Ones right before the Jordans came out. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
I
it's
mean,
been
I'm gonna
real,
let you be
y'all. I
all you
had
can be.
fun.
It's all good.
If you missed me yesterday, you can hang out on my birthday next year, God willing. Oh!
All right. That was Fame. Talking BS as normal. He said he had on Air Force Ones at 6 years old. And I know he didn't ride the bus downtown. Fame used to live downtown, y'all. He trying to act like he grew up in the suburbs somewhere. Fame was a little dusty little boy in the boys club, just like the rest of us. I don't know why he trying to be like exclusive now. He was that. He was that. He was that. Trust me. I remember Fame because he was a little younger than us. I didn't know that this was the same guy, but the more he explained some things, the more I start reminiscing. Like, I'm one of them people, to be honest with you, that I had such a great childhood. The surroundings, like being in the Boys and Girls Club and playing bumper pool and all these different things that gave you good, great memories. I remember a lot. I remember a lot about being a child. Probably just as much as a kid that may have been traumatized a lot, may have gone through a lot of stuff, may have been bit by a dog, or may have, been dropped, had to walk home and, just whatever trauma. Kids tend to reminisce all that. I was the type of kid that I remember being in, on the green team at the Boys and Girls Club, or the gold team. These were basketball teams where you were selected to be on these different teams and you played against different kids. And I remember all of that. I remember the 3-point contest. I remember being at the very first Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournament when Reebok first picked it up. I remember all of that stuff. And I do remember Fame, and Fame remember. I remember Fame coming to the boys club every so often. And he was a little bit younger than us. And we would be out on the court and we would be practicing shooting and stuff like that. He wasn't quite old enough to play on our team, but we were little. We were a little bit older than Fame. So, it's kind of hard for these guys. When you're younger like that, you want to hang with the bigger dudes, you want to do what they do. But, Fame was a nice kid. He was kind of a quiet kid. He was kind of quiet. Let me go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, Wyatt? Your favorite Black Not Democrat. Drop Squad 52. What's up?
Drop Squad. What's good with you, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Shout out to Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Mr. A.K.A. And yes, he's right, Wyatt. Air Force Ones debuted late October 1982.
Yeah. I don't think he had them at 6 years old because, number one, if he had to ride the bus, let me just say this to you, okay? If Fame had to ride the bus downtown, that means he didn't live downtown, right? He wasn't wearing no Air Force Ones he wasn't wearing no Air Force Ones to the Boys and Girls Club because somebody would have took him. You feel me? Like, that's how I know he perping. Somebody would have took him, bro. You ain't even got no, he can think he like that, but trust me, bro, somebody would have took his shit. They would have checked that shit right in. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, I ain't gonna talk about what Fame was talking about, that case in Mississippi or whatever. Only because you said you don't want that kind of show.
Well, because I don't know about it. Only because I don't know about it. I just seen someone on here. J. Rose says, why can't we keep the conversation on the topic of the Nolan kid, instead of pivoting away from it? Interesting. Because I don't know anything about the shit. I'm not the type of person that's going to sit here talking about, this is how you keep people aroused up and keep them fucked up in the head. You talk about something you don't know shit about, just like they didn't know nothing about the what was the kid's name that stabbed the kid in the chest? They don't know shit about that, but they want to sit here and be mad about the shit. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not about to do that.
But see, Wyatt, and I know Fame knows, there's no money in black on black crime.
Yes, it is.
The money is on the race card.
Oh, okay.
Black, white dynamic. That's what makes money.
Yeah, I ain't got time for shit like that, though. Drop.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna go back to what you was talking about earlier about not being scared, sticking to your guns, and if you smell good, you feel good. If you feel good, you look good. If you look good, you're gonna get paid good.
Absolutely.
That's the mantra from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I don't know if anybody saw it, but I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
How many people do you think in the chat has a net worth of $1 million or more?
I don't know. I know a couple that do for sure. I won't say anything. They can say it. I know a couple people for sure that are on here that I know personally, and they do.
Okay, so you would say what, maybe 1%, 2%?
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. My bad, bro. You said in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Okay, I stick to that. There's a couple. There's a couple because I know them. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
We know each other, and they come to support.
So how does the average working man accumulate $1 million of net worth?
How does a working man?
Yes.
I would say get into your 401k. Be careful of the vices. Don't gamble. Don't drink. Don't do a lot of different stuff. I would say investing your money. You know, it's like this. And I know this is going to sound hard on a lot of people because it's going to sound like I'm on some hate and shit, but I'm not. I'm just being honest with you. People invest more into their churches than they do their own home. In other words,
why you have to go there?
Well, it's the truth. They'll pledge that they'll what do they call it? They will
tithe.
Yeah, they'll tithe 10% of their income,
right?
But don't have 10% savings each year of their own home.
Right.
It's just you know, it's just certain things that that I know. And that doesn't mean you don't have a love for God. It's just, but I understand the tithing. I understand that you have to keep the home of the church surviving and things of that nature. And people have to get paid in the church and things of that nature. And I'm not against tithing. Okay. I'm just saying, if you can give the church 10%, you can give yourself 10%. Matter of fact, if you can give the church 10%, you should be able to give yourself 15 or 20%.
No, 90%.
Well, no, because you can't do that because you don't even get 100% of your money when you work. You know, because the government's getting 30 to 35%. 27% of your money go towards taxes. All right.
No, I'm talking about the net, your net income.
Oh, net? Okay, yes. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about.
Here's the follow-up question. Let's get away from the church thing. Okay. So when I ask you about working people accumulating $1 million or more net worth, and you said that is usually done through your 401k, your retirement, right? So that means that the average black person can achieve $1 million net worth if they plan properly throughout their working days, and whether they work 20, 25, 30 years, at the end of that time, they will have accumulated $1 million or more in net worth. Now, the other thing that put working class black people into that category is home equity.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's usually those two things, your 401k and the equity that you have in your home. But in order to get to that point of that $1 million or more, because I think, and I know Vernon, I hope Vernon is in the chat. I think the average 401k or retirement account after working 30 years is around $100,000.
Say that again.
Okay.
Say that again. I didn't capture. I was reading a comment. Say that.
Okay. Again. The average 401k or retirement account after working 30 years.
Okay. I'm with you.
It's around $100,000.
It's probably more now because of when was that statistic? When was that stat put out?
Well, that's update current.
That's a current?
Yeah, because I was doing some digging, to find out.
I think that's low. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I think that's low is because, and I know each state has a separate average, income for, every state is different. Like California is definitely going to be different than Ohio or something of that nature. But I would think the national average of income for an individual.
No, not income.
Well,
the average 401k
I know.
balance
I know.
at the time of retirement.
I understand. And the reason why I brought in income drop is because income plays a huge part of the percentage that you invest in your 401k. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I was bringing income in is because people make more money now than they did some time ago. I think that, you know, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna go back maybe 20 years. Okay. And I'm just using this as an example because I'm familiar with it because it was close and dear to me. 20 years ago, my grandmother retired from doing almost 40 years, okay, into a company. She worked for Mac Albans, which is a retail store, for like 40 years of her life. When she retired, it was like a 401k, but it didn't start out being a 401k, but it turned into a 401k. So it was very aggressive at the beginning. Okay. And then 401k calmed it down a little bit and made it a little bit more reasonable. And that's when the government took over and investment firms start coming in, tearing up, splitting up people's their money and trying to get 401ks became popular about 20 years ago. Okay. 25 years ago to the investment world. It wasn't really set up for retirement. It was really something that was I don't know if you noticed or not, Drop, but 401ks were supposed to take the place of Social Security. That's what it was really aiming to do, but that didn't work out. But that all being said, 20 years ago, my grandmother retired from a place, right? And she had a little over 150 just from her initial investment. I don't think my grandmother ever really made a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Doing that retail business. But if she could have brought 150 in, even though she did it for 40 years, you see what I'm saying? I would think today's average salary would allow a little bit more aggressiveness, a little more aggressive investing in the 401ks. I think that 100,000 is a little low. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but based on what I know, you don't have to make a whole lot of money to do well in the 401ks and profit sharings and in them companies. You don't have to make a whole lot of money. You just have to not touch it. You know what I'm saying? That's the discipline of it all, is not to touch it, not to borrow against it, not to pay the penalties because you can reach it and touch it. Right. But go ahead, Drop. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick.
Okay.
The average 401k balance for retired Americans age 65 and older hovers between 260,000 to 330, depending on the major retirement plan administrator providing the data.
There you
administrator providing. However, the median balance, which represents the true middle point of the distribution, is significantly lower, sitting at roughly 95 to 103,000.
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
So my point, the reason I'm bringing this up, right, is because, like you said, if someone is tithing 10% to the church, you said you should be putting at least 15 to yourself, right?
Minimum.
Okay,
minimum.
So basically, I'm pretty sure you meant by that, invest in your future with 15%. But we both know, if you have that in mind, that when I hit retirement, I'm gonna have $1 million, right? That means you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of the good stuff in your life in order to reach that point, which means you're gonna have to put in more than 15. You're probably gonna have to put in 30 or more if you can, because I did it, Wyatt. I did it. And I was shocked now, after being retired, going on 10 years next year. And my net worth is over $1 million.
Is that including, properties, right?
That's just with two. That's just with my 401k and my equity in my condo.
Right. Okay.
But that's why I say it's over, because I have a pension and, of course, Social Security.
Right. And I just think that if you align yourself up right, I think you did a great job at that. I think discipline was the key. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's because I started planning. I started planning because I said I'm getting the hell out of the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I refereed basketball as long as I did, because I was able to contribute 20% into my retirement account, and I had no credit, no debt. I mean, no credit card debt and all that kind of stuff. And again, it was because I planned. Because Wyatt, I'm telling you, and you know it as well as I do, a lot of average working class Black people cannot conceive being worth $1 million after working for 30 years.
I don't know why. I don't know why not. I don't know why that's so unconceivable.
It's because like you said, living your day-to-day life, you got a family, you got responsibilities. People got to dip into their retirement account for whatever reason, because they're not looking at the big picture.
I get it.
Okay, and like you said,
wait a minute, hold on. I don't think. Don't misconstrue me. I'm not saying I don't know why they. My thing is, I don't know why they think they can't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't. Because
a lot of people don't understand the importance of compound interest. Okay, and that was the only way I was able to do it, was because of compound interest.
I totally understand.
That was, and of course, being a federal employee, we had a good retirement plan. It's called TSP.
Well, wait a minute. At the post office, did you pay into Social Security?
Yeah, because when I started with the post office in '88, the Postal Service changed their retirement.
Okay.
I think it was in '85 or '86 they changed it.
Okay.
But I worked with a guy where he didn't pay into Social Security.
Right.
Because of the retirement plan that he was getting.
I got you.
Right. No, so basically it equals out, because once he retired, the amount is equal to what I'm getting in Social Security. So it's equal. But when a lot of people who were in that early plan, they didn't contribute to the thrift savings plan when they had the option. Because if they would have contributed more, they obviously would have been worth more at the end of their 30 years. So
no, I understand. I think the key here is buying. You have to buy assets in order and hold on to them. Look at how many people. I don't know how it is in California, but you're from Detroit. You know that grandma house. We should have never let those properties die. We should have never let those things dwindle and go into decline and let them sit dormant, and they lost money, and they had a value of $22,000, and now you look at the regentrification of these communities, and now that same property, the land is more. The land is more than the property. Yeah, the dwelling is not worth a quarter, but the land itself is worth 3 times, 4 times, 10 times what the house is worth. And a lot of us, we don't talk about that. All we talk about is redlining and all that. You know what's funny about that drop? And I'm not going to minimize what redlining really was, okay? But the irony of redlining is that same redlined property is the most valuable property in most cities. If you know what I'm saying? Those redlined areas that Black folks were kind of stuck in, if you want to call it that, or were pivoted in, those are the most. Those were the last 25 years. Those are the properties that have driven in the most money in most cities. And I just find it to be kind of funny that we didn't want, we didn't get. Sometimes we don't see the value. We don't see the value in things until we want to be part of something that's not really. I don't know how to say this, bro, because I don't really know how to say it. I'm lost for words on how to say this.
Don't say it if you don't know how to say it.
Well, I got to say it the way I know how to say it. I just don't. I may not know how to say it the politically correct way. Sometimes you give your value away trying to be with somebody else. It's almost like a woman who knows that she's a little bit more classier than the guy, but she drops her standards. to be with a dude who then turns around and takes all the value out of her. He burns her credit up. He drives her car till the wheels are flat. He just tears everything up about this woman. She was a high class, high value woman. And she just, her morals just went all the way left when she gave this guy a chance. When she knew, because all her friends are dating and she's just missing out. She thinks she's missing out. And sometimes you give away your value. And guys can do this too, ladies. I just use this as an example. But sometimes we give our value away trying to be with some people, you know, like my motto, Drop. You don't want me eating in your restaurants? Fine. I'll go to Miss Louise's restaurant. It's all black owned anyway. You don't want me swimming in your swimming pool? Fine. I'll get me a house that got a swimming pool. You feel what I'm saying to you? So I've always,
I feel, Wyatt, my father and my mother bought their first house in Detroit on the West Side in 1967. It was right after they overturned, they passed the Civil Rights Act and they got rid of the redlining. So we moved into a area that was previously redlined.
Okay.
Because when we moved in, there was only one other black family on the entire block, right? Entire block. I'm talking about when you go from the main street, and you got side street, then you got another. That whole block, it was 2 black families in 1967. When I left for the Marine Corps, there was 1 old white lady left in 1980. And she had dementia. Her family was trying to get her out of there. 1. Now you fast forward, Wyatt.
I already know.
You already know. You already know what that community looks like.
Yep.
Okay. But when the houses were getting vacant and run down, they would just tear the houses down. And just like you said, the value's in that land, not the house. And you drive down some of these streets in inner cities that were red line areas back in the 60s and the 50s, then black middle-class people start moving in, and 20, 30 years later, it becomes the hood, and all the houses are torn down and vacant, and that's why you see all the vacant lots. Because just like you said, when the redevelopers come in, that land is very, very valuable.
And the leaders, so-called leaders in our community, bitch and complain about everything but the reality of it. You understand?
Oh, my mother, Wyatt, my mother used to tell me all the time when I used to try to get her to come out here to California. She was like, I would tell her how bad the neighborhood had gotten. She was like, well, if people like you would have stayed, it wouldn't have got like this. And we would go round and round. Because if I would have stayed
maybe not
in that area, I mean, mentally, I just wouldn't be able to be there. Because it's just, you got to get security on your house. You got to worry about this and that. Oh, man,
you think I care? Come on, bro. I'm sorry, that was your family. But no, I don't care when people tell me, oh, you didn't moved out of the neighborhood. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know how many people I know that want to live a certain way and they end up there was a guy. Okay, let me say this to you. I don't know if you're familiar with Westwood in Cincinnati, Ohio. There's a brother that moved into a house on Baltimore Avenue in Westwood. Okay, this is when Westwood was turning into hood. Well, this brother ended up staying in the hood, putting a little gated fence up around the house, and it was in the community, right next door to everybody. I mean, next door to Section 8 and certificates, all type of shit. He driving a nice shiny Benz. He put a gate up. He re-cemented the whole thing. He put a swimming pool in his backyard. He did everything. And they was breaking into his house and all type of shit. Ambulances is going by his house at night, all times of the day, and dogs barking and people walking they pit bull shitting in front of his house and not cleaning it up. Who want to live like that, bro? You understand what I'm saying? Who want to live like that? Y'all can say whatever you want to say, but nobody is working hard and living their life to the best and want to wake up to nonsense and go to sleep to nonsense. I mean, I don't have no problem when people leave. I understand what they leaving from.
Yeah, I mean, but see, again, like I said earlier, Wyatt, a lot of people don't want to work that long to achieve that wealth. right? And that's why in certain communities, people take up illegal activity to gain wealth, right? Now, to me, that's the easy way out. But it's changing now, Wyatt. The younger generation ain't trying to work at no job for 30 years.
No, they barely can stay for 3 years, to be honest with you.
I know.
I mean, I'm being honest with you.
I got chat,
nieces and nephews that they get a job. I got one niece worked at GE, which was a great job to have. And freaking 20 years ago, people would have cried and died to get in that job. She worked there for about 6 months with an accounting degree. You know what I'm saying? And left and went on to some. They'll leave for extra $2,000-$3,000 a year plus whatever, maybe some type of I guess a title or something. You know what I'm saying? They don't stay in jobs long these days.
Right.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Drop. Go ahead.
Yeah. But before I go, I just want to say I understand why young people don't want to do it the way that us older Black folks did it, because they have more opportunities now with technology.
Absolutely.
And education.
Absolutely.
And economic opportunities.
Absolutely.
They can get to that million without having to work, punching the clock, breaking their back for 30 years.
That's why certain grifters sound ridiculous when they start talking that it's hard to be Black in America and Black people. And that's why the young people ain't listening to that shit, bro.
It's easier now for Black people.
Well,
because
you
have
say that
so many programs and incentives for Black people. Because I was watching something, they said there's some kind of government program and the enrollment is at like 2 or 3%.
Well, it's always like that. And those are the ones that generally get the money. Okay. They get the money from the government. And the reason why.
Guess who's taking advantage of it?
Who?
The immigrants who come here.
Okay. Well, guess what I heard
today? They're taking advantage of these programs that these younger Black people, their parents aren't making their kids take advantage of these government opportunities. Because there's a lot of them out here. You saw what happened during COVID and the PPP loans. Everybody had a business.
Yeah, and almost everybody went to jail. But at the same time, that's why you made me think of something today. I was on my way home to do this show today, and I was thinking like, okay, I was gonna make a phone call, and I did, and I think God blessed me by getting that person's voicemail. It was a business call, and I was thinking like, okay, I got some time to think about it. So I cut my radio on my cell phone. You know how you can get your channels and stuff on your phone. I got this app that has channels and apps and stuff like that. And I'm listening, and I got about 10 minutes before I get to the house. So I'm like, well, let me listen to local radio in Cincinnati and see if they're talking about this new consultant that's been hired. There's a Black guy who used to be the AG of Cincinnati, of Ohio. He was, pretty big wig of, he was the head attorney for the government of Ohio. Okay. In Ohio. And, I'm thinking maybe they talking about, since this is breaking news to me, I get this thing on Cincinnati.com, and I'm hoping that maybe they're talking about this new Black guy. It's a Black guy, and he's getting like $200,000, and he signs up as a consultant, and he's saying what they're saying he's going to do is he's going to concentrate on safety. So in other words, he's concentrating on the crime of the city. And I'm saying to myself, I've been talking about the crime in the city and my people being lied to for 5-6 years now, and I haven't charged the city of Cincinnati a dime. What is he going to come in and tell the city of Cincinnati that we don't know? Realistic people, what we don't know. Because what he's going to do, he's going to bang his head up against the wall telling these folks in the city of Cincinnati, this is the same city that their mayor went on Black radio and said there's no Black gangs in the city of Cincinnati, and nobody challenged it. No one said anything. Not one pretend to be fake leader in the city. Nobody did that, Drop. And what's crazy about it is they just hired this man to be a consultant, because that's the new grift. That's the new get paid in the Black community, is become a consultant. That's what it is. But that all being said, nobody's saying anything. And it's not going to be the hardest evaluation to do of the city, of learning what's wrong with the city. So I turned into the radio thinking that they should be talking about this. And what I heard was, and this is why I can't really stomach it. I'll tell you the truth. Immigrants did not get housing and did not get money when they came into this country illegally. And I said to myself, and I heard them arguing with a dude and trying to make somebody that had an opinion feel stupid. I don't know why these people so damn stupid. That's that Republican talk that the migrants came into this country and absorbed all the money. Well, let me ask, can I ask y'all, can I ask my people here on Wyatt Live? Because some of y'all probably heard that. Let me ask you something. Who gave those immigrants all that housing in New York and in Chicago? Where did that money come from? And then they read it and said, see, this is what they be talking about. This is the Donald Trump and the Republican people talking and just be saying anything. Look, read this. And of course, they got to Google it. And they Google it and it says, illegal immigrants are not, they're not eligible for federal money. Okay? They're not eligible for housing and WIC and all that type of stuff. So ask yourself, how did they live when they got here? They just came here and lived on the street. You don't remember all those hotels that were full in New York?
Yes, but Wyatt, they were
on.
eligible for emergency housing and assistance.
Hold up.
That's how they were. That's why New York and Chicago spent so much money that was intended for the Black community.
It wasn't,
because they were required to provide them with emergency.
Okay. But
go ahead.
Keep in mind, I understand exactly what it is. And I know you're talking to the audience. I get it. But when you try to convince your audience, your people, us, that the government didn't have anything to do with those people living in America, that they weren't getting $300 a week ration cards in New York, and they weren't staying in those fine hotels, who do you think was paying for that? Where do you think that money magically developed from? Where do you think it came from? Do you not remember? Exactly. It was not federal dollars. It was state dollars. Okay.
Right. So when that's why the other mayor of New York, what was his name? Eric Adams. That's why he finally had to tell the truth with the Biden administration, because he said, y'all got to give us some of that money back.
Exactly.
Like $5 billion.
But when you talking to people and you don't know, sometimes they get lost into the shit that they just don't know anything about. And in order to be right, they just keep on saying shit wrong just to be right. So let's just say that Chicago went in a $51 million a month deficit and they admitted to it. They were almost $1 billion in debt from what they did in the migrant crisis in Chicago, just one city. So if they went in debt taking care of migrants, how does a city go in debt taking care of migrants? And then you can turn around and tell people, well, the government, you can't even give these people housing, and then try to make people sound stupid. Do you know how ridiculous you look or you sound when people are living in apartment buildings and the residents, the Black residents of Chicago are saying, but y'all didn't do this for us. We don't have y'all didn't give $51 million a month to the Black community. Y'all tore these schools down or left them abandoned. And as soon as those migrants came in, y'all sunk $5 million into that building for them to live in that. Y'all did this for them. Y'all did that for them. But when you don't introduce your audience to those arguments, your audience stay kind of dumb to what's really going on. And for 4 years, I sit here and I talked about what was going on in Chicago. And you can sit there and tell my people, oh, this is how stupid them Republicans are, those conservatives are, those Trumpsters who want to follow Trump and all that old easy, low-hanging fruit, vibrant type shit. You know what I'm saying? Just taking over there. You tell them they stupid for believing that these migrants came here and didn't get any assistance from the government or the state. Because look at what Google said. They don't even qualify for SMAC or what is all this stuff. They don't qualify for public housing. They don't get this. So what the hell who paid for those luxurious hotels that they were living in? Who gave those people $300 a week ration cards for food? Where did that money come from? Where did the $51 million where did the $51 million a month come from that the city was on the hook for?
They did it. Eric Adams did it because he thought he was gonna get reimbursed.
From who?
Okay.
From who?
From the federal government.
Thank you, Drop. Thank you, Drop. Thank you. And I don't even, that was a bad plan because when Trump got in there, he wasn't gonna reimburse him that he's not gonna reimburse a sanctuary city for doing some shit that's totally against what the government wants them to do. That's just stupid. That's mismanagement.
Well, again, nobody thought that Kamala was gonna lose. Okay? Because everybody thought there was no way in hell that the American people would vote for the convicted felon, Mr. Scary Orange Man. Again, that's what they thought.
All I'm saying,
it fucked up their plan.
Well, here's the thing.
It fucked up their plan.
Here's the thing, bro. I don't mean to be against history. I don't mean to be against people's legends in their mind and all that old shit. But until we understand the real logistics of what's going on, this is why I don't talk about those issues that I don't know anything about, because I don't want to mislead my audience and have them thinking certain things and making them believe what's not really, what's not really happening or whatever. But some of us, bro, we don't know any better. We know better. And that's what I don't respect about people when we talk about shit and we just common sense tells you that somebody had to pay for all of that. Little Sisters of the Poor, St. Teresa Church and all that shit wasn't paying $51 million for migrants. You understand? That had to come from federal dollars or state dollars, which is still people's tax dollars. You see what I'm saying, bro? But when we want to try to ignore it or try to use those key words.
And again, shout out to your chat. Shout out to Vernon Jordan. He wrote, if you don't think the city of Chicago hasn't spent billions of dollars on Black residents, then I can't help you. He's 100% right. But at the time we're talking about from 2020 to 2023, the migrants that were bused to Chicago, because that's where they wanted to go, the city of Chicago and Mayor Brandon Johnson, out of that billions that was being spent on Black residents, it was diverted to the migrants. And that's why they were so pissed off at their city council meetings. Okay, so again, Wyatt, that's a whole nother topic, bro. But you keep doing what you're doing. Talk more about financial literacy, bro. Talk about it. Because even these young people that's making this quick money legally, right? Because they don't want to work 30 years. If they don't know how to manage that money, they're going to blow it. They're going to blow it quick because they ain't thinking 30 years down the road when they old and, ain't got no house, ain't got no nothing. Well, so again, why just keep doing what you're doing, bro?
That's a hard lesson to teach because it takes discipline. And if you have an undisciplined person, you're never going to get through.
Yeah, but it's never too late to learn.
No,
because I know most of the people in your chat are over the age of 45, 50. I know that for a fact. Your demographic is not a lot of young people.
No.
So I'm pretty sure something that you're talking about and me and you talking about today is going to be some new information that maybe somebody didn't know. And that's all it takes, Wyatt. One at a time, bro. Because I'm telling you, the grip that the Democrat politicians have on the Black mindset, it's going to take a while to unleash it. And when it does, it's going to be a little bit at a time. Like your daughters, Vernon's kids, Twins' kids, Raz Freeman's kids, Tracy Dillingham kids. It takes a while for that mindset of the Black community under the leadership of the Democrat politicians. It's going to take a while for that to change, Wyatt. And people like you and other people on the internet, shout out to Nathan Ivey over there on Hot Mike Sensi, all these different type of shows who are putting this information out there. Somebody's going to hear it. Somebody's going to use it and pass it on to the next Black person. And hopefully by the time you get your grandbabies and your kids it'll be some changes going on in the Black community, the way we see things in this country. That's all I got, Wyatt. You keep doing your thing, brother. And again, shout out to the chat. And y'all be safe in them streets. Peace out, bro.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for engaging with us. That's Drop Squad 52 out of California. out of California. I hear you, bro. It's basically, it's really tough. You know, I always use this analogy of saying it's tough to help someone who may be going through drug rehab or, you know, drug addiction or something like that. And you're trying to help somebody who hasn't reached their rock bottom yet. And you're trying to do everything possible for that person, but they're not willing to do anything. They just want to get high. And they'll listen to you can do it, get better, and go see some counseling. They'll listen to all that shit until they get away from you, and then they go back to doing what they do. They haven't hit their rock bottom yet. You feel me? They haven't hit their rock bottom yet. And, you know, one of the most frustrating things, here's where I'm going with this. One of the most frustrating things in the world, Drop, is to have a conversation with somebody or, you know, people with someone or whatever, and they're not really ready for the information. That becomes very frustrating for those that are delivering the message. All right. And then some people, they play too much too. You know, some people, like on the platform, like they're not really here. They're not really here for what we're here for. They're here for what they're here for. And that might not be anything close to my agenda. You know, they're here to either impress somebody, or they're here to, you know, be the clown, you know, class clown or whatever. Or they, you know, I can always tell people like Vernon Jordan, who brings substance to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? He may not call, but his messages are generally, you know, he's a middle guy. He kind of stays in the middle. He'll agree, disagree. He'll, you know, I can respect that. And it has substance. Even the disagreements have substance. He may be wrong. He may be right, but it at least has some substance to it. Instead of just saying dumb shit, you know, like just saying shit just to be against whatever's being said. You can tell those type of people. You know what I'm saying? You can tell those type of people. Let me go back to the phone lines before I get out of here. I'm running low on time. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this Cuzzo, man.
Hey, twin. How you doing, bro?
I'm okay, man.
What's on your mind today?
Yeah, that was sad about the shorty, man. The young Nolan Wells in Mississippi.
Is that the black kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
They lawyer. I know you probably don't know too much about it, just like me.
Okay.
But
well, I'm sure I'm about to learn something.
Of it, man.
I'm sure I'm about to learn something. Go ahead.
No, man. It was sad because, man, it felt like they was guilty about something. They lawyered up so quick and everything. And I don't know what happened, man.
Listen,
why?
If my
about the third or fourth person out of Mississippi that happened like that, man.
Listen, bro. I don't know enough about it, but I know enough about me. And if my daughters went to a trip, if they went to Cancun, Mexico, or if they went down to the lake or some shit like that, and one of their friends didn't make it back, and they come back dead, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm calling my attorney because I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say anything that's going to incriminate my child, and I don't want my child saying anything. I don't know what that situation is, but it's not uncommon for people to go get lawyers so they can keep. That's the go-to. That's your spokesperson. You're supposed to do that. When it's your time to speak, when it's your time to say something, then you have proper counsel and advisory right there. That's the proper way to do it. Only black folks will sit back here and say some dumb shit like they didn't went and got lawyers. So you know they didn't do some. That's just dumb shit to me. That's what you do to protect.
Well, that's your opinion then. So if it's dumb,
it is.
Whatever.
It's dumb shit to me.
You damn right. We two different people.
Well,
but if you're looking at it like this, where you go up and get lawyers real quick for?
Because that's what lawyers do.
It's obvious there's some guilt behind this.
Let me tell you why.
Come back with y'all.
Let me tell you why. Because the same mind that says free Carmelo Anthony, if he would have not said anything.
You said what?
The same minds that are saying free Carmelo Anthony, he ain't do shit. If he would have not said a word when he got in custody, if he wouldn't have said a word and he would have just fell back and let his family get a lawyer, they would not have been able to use any of his words against him in a court of law like they did. We so busy wanting to say some shit when it's not our time to say something that it's being used against us in the court of law. And the first thing people that got some damn sense do is they lawyer up so they'll know what angles to take and what angles can't be used on them. So that's all I'm saying to you. You have to, I don't have a disrespect for people who, if my daughters went on a vacation and came back and one of their friends didn't make it back and they like, Daddy, I don't know, she left with a dude, a guy, or anything. Okay, if it seems criminal, I'm calling Dan Whiteley right away. Dan, I need you to get here. And you know what you do? You give any investigator or you give anybody that's doing an investigation, whether it's the federal government or if it's the local police, you give them the contact number of your attorney and you let your attorney handle that. That's the proper way you do it. There's nothing wrong with them going to get lawyers.
That's yours, man. It seems like it's something obvious with that situation, man.
Bruh, that's the way you do it. Even if you innocent, and especially if you're guilty, but if you innocent, do you know how many innocent people sitting in jail right now because they didn't handle their shit right?
Yeah, they had jailhouse lawyers to manipulate their mind, convince them this how you do it.
All I know, bro, and I'm not trying to be difficult, nor am I trying to be disrespectful. I'm telling you the difference between people that think frames ahead and people who just don't think shit out. And people who sitting back here judging a situation because somebody go get a lawyer, that's not the proper, you shouldn't look at it that way. People have lawyers in place because even if their kid is guilty, they still have
to. Man, I understand all that.
No,
I understand it.
Okay, all right.
I got my lawyer. I understand all that.
Okay, all right.
But man, especially in Mississippi, the way, man, this ain't new. This about the third or fourth get down they got down there in Mississippi, man, and other cities too. Just not just me. You ain't never, hey, go. You ain't hearing other people say, hey, go get your lawyer. They got a lawyer you up. You ain't hear nobody say that, boy. So stop pump faking on here like you have.
I ain't heard nobody say
Come on, man. Be real on here, dog.
I haven't heard nobody say what. I'm being realer than real. You just don't understand real right now. I'm being real. This is the move that you make. I don't care what color you are. Black people do the same thing that have things that have things on the line. You know what I'm saying? Only black folks sit in the back of the police car and say shit like, hey man, listen, I know you got me. Cause I
said what?
Only black folks sit in the back of the police car and make deals and shit. Look, I can set somebody up for you. Just don't take me to jail. You know, that shit go on in our community all the time. We don't never say, listen, I ain't saying shit. Go get my lawyer. Occasionally we do. After you then did a number or two.
Yeah. I understand. Hey, Wyatt, can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro. You there?
Hello?
Yeah. Yo, we here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Twin?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
I think it was messing. I don't know, man. It's your Wi-Fi or something. Your
my
podcast.
Wi-Fi. Okay, let me see. Maybe. Okay, let's just say it's my fault. What's going on? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the blame.
I think within your 401k when you and Job was talking about it, and you know this guy, he been with Kroger's. He just retired like 2 years ago, I want to say, and back then, about maybe 6 years ago, he was telling me he had $100,000 saved up in his 401k. So I believe the money that we make today, if they would have made it back then like we made it today, I think it would have been 10 times more, you know, maybe an extra 300,000 or better. When I heard you and Drop was talking about it. But I'm like, you been there 40-something years? Because he said he was working 2 jobs. He's about to retire from Kroger's. I know that. Then he had another job.
You said he's been there 40 years?
Yeah, he said when I started back in 2013 at Kroger's, he was there prior to that, maybe he was close to 30 or 28 when I started. So now, then he had moved. So I left that location about 2020, and he left a year before me. He said he had like 2 more years. So Yeah, he was close to 40 years then with Kroger. And he said he had like 100-some thousand and retired. I said, why don't you just retire? And he had the numbers up and everything. Like I think it was 65 or 67, something like that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had an odd contract. Get your time and your age, you can retire. Somehow it was in the contract, in our contract. It was the time you had in with Kroger and your age.
Okay.
And then somehow the contract flipped, and when we negotiate a new contract, they just threw that out the window. So
well, some of those things can be grandfathered in for older people, and it don't exist for the new contracted out people, for the new contract people. See what I'm saying? Some of them retirement plans are grandfathered in. And the younger people don't get that same privilege. So the older people, But like you told him, why don't he just retire?
Yeah, I'm saying he was gonna get his, 400. Some people retired and thought they was gonna get it. I said, no, you only go get 80% of it, of your benefits and Social Security, whatever.
Okay.
And then I say, if you'd have stayed 1 more year, 2 more years, you would have got the full benefits. So they rushed out. So I said, we're coming up on a new contract. I say, this might benefit you. Why you want to leave? I say, just give it like a year or two, and then say, no, I just tired. Then when he realized what I was talking about, he's like, damn, I should have stopped. I told you, you could have got all of it because it matched up to your age and time.
Okay, but he would have gotten.
What do you say?
He would have gotten 100% if he would have stayed an extra year. I'm a little confused. If he would have stayed an extra year,
like 2 more years, he would have got the full. But they only got like 80-some%.
What did they do? Force him out? Why didn't he stay?
I didn't force him out. He was ready to go.
Not you.
His ain't my.
I said, why did he go? Did they force him out? Sometimes they do early retirement.
Some people give some people got that what they call it, service pack or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got that.
Severance.
Yeah, some people. Some people got that, and some people just ready to go. And then by the time they get retired and all that, they fixed up their house, took vacation, and they want to come back. And I said, you're not going to get the same pay. He said, well, I was gone for a year or two. I said, it don't work like that. As they thought they was going to get the same pay, they had to start from the bottom.
I got you. I understand. Well, I think that's on the lines of what Drop was talking about. I think it's important. I think what he was trying to do was trying to show the difference between older
now
folks
and then back then.
Well, older folks kind of going off to retire and retiring and being, have $1 million worth of assets and things of that nature. And I think he was basically saying that the younger generation, they're not quite thinking like that. And I know what he's talking about because most of these kids today don't really have the same commitment to stay with a company for a long time. Tracy D said 100K is not a lot to retire on. It really isn't, especially. But in this case, it's a lot more. Tracy, it's a lot more money when you leave with a severance package, plus you get your benefits. You get your benefits, plus you get your. I don't know. Do you guys have I know you get Social Security, but do you guys have any type of what do they call it? They don't even have these things anymore. Where you get money from the company. What is that called? Severance, not severance package.
Share profit sharing.
No, not profit sharing, because that's during the time of employment. That's like investing in the company. What do they call it, guys? Help me out real fast. It's not when you get Social Security. It's when you get a percentage of money from the pension. Thank you, V. Thank you, Vernon. Pension. I don't know that word.
Yeah.
I don't know that word. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. Pensions are something that just don't exist hardly anymore because companies are going more aggressive into the 401ks. They're kind of contributing to the 401k more, and pensions are just not there. So younger people aren't even thinking about pension money.
And you better think about that well, they really don't think about pension. They're more on a 401k plan. Because I never thought I'd last at this. I ain't never had no job this long, Wyatt, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
not swinging. But
we get older and we learn.
It's 13 years now, whatever. Yeah, we I never knew it was going to last as long. Cause I was ready throwing a towel. This ain't my cup of tea. No, I kept Alabama, but man, I'm about that hustling money.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with hustling and working. Ain't nothing wrong with that, twin.
I mean, that was my habit, but man,
well,
I was
now
making
what
more
might
on
be
the streets
wrong
than
is
I'm doing now.
the actual hustle itself. I'm not condoning street hustle. I'm saying, like I said, the first year of Wyatt Live, I told everybody here, man, we about to just, you need to incorporate yourself or get an LLC or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I said, we all gonna try to figure out a way to make an extra $25 a week. And it sound crazy because it was such a little bit about it was just a little bit of money. But I keep telling people it's not about the money when you're doing it on your own. It's not about the money. The money will come and you'll have good, just take that $25 and buy a savings bond.
It's just a damn investment, man.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, you sit back and let it roll. And now, I do it with Kroger stocks. I'm in that habit because I worked there. And I was in, Nike and the other one, T-Mobile, one I was in, and, it was doing good. But, I'm heavy into Kroger stocks, where even though it be shady sometimes, I play the numbers.
Losing a little bit.
I expect that number to fall, but hey, I'm going to keep playing until it falls. So I take a hit.
I put it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I guess about 6-7 months ago. I was like, hey, man, we need to grab this Kroger stock because they're going to do I knew that they were going to be investing in other companies, buying out other companies. And I'm like, well, we need to do that. And I think the reason why it's been holding steady and decline it was holding steady for a long time. And then it started declining because I think they were starting to try to focus on the purchase of this other company that they're working on.
Are you talking about Kroger's?
Yeah. They're working
they just purchased a Giant Eagle $1.65 billion.
Yeah. So
because they still in they trying to get what's called up through, even though they go probably write them a check, Albertson, because of that merge, and Rodney Muller, the ex-president, didn't make it happen, and so they go do 1.65 billion. They go do something with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hear you, bro. I just think that if you want to do what Drop did, you just have to be patient, be very consistent, and we got to lose some of our vices. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, for instance, I can't imagine, like, when I was a little boy, twin, I used to run to the store daily, every day.
Yeah.
I would go to the store for my mother and get a pack of Virginia Slim menthols and a Pepsi. A pack of Virginia Slim menthols. That's how often I went. I would run up to Swartz as a little kid. I would run to Swartz. That's up in the Fay Apartments in Cincinnati. I would run to Swartz and get a pack of Virginia Slim menthols, the green pack, and a Pepsi for my mother every day. And I say to myself, I don't even know what cigarettes cost back then, but if it was $2 a pack,
that was $2.
That was $2 that she could have did something else with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean to judge mom, but I'm just saying we all tend to do that. I watch a lot of guys in my professional field when I was in professional sports, and I'm still there, but I'm not as aggressive as I was before. And I watch guys with unbelievable opportunities to invest in things like Wingstop, and they didn't think it was, they weren't interested in it. They didn't pursue it. And I'm saying to myself, not everybody has access to $100,000 and a name and can go buy into a franchise like a Wingstop or a Wendy's or something like that. Like, we have to start thinking that far out, because, when you have children, these are things that you leave your kids. And for some odd reason, man, we live in a world where it's about looking like you rich instead of trying to actually be rich. You know what I mean? If lightning strike your ass.
Hey, well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
What's your habit?
My habit? What do you mean?
Say you get fetish for clothes, or your habit is for clothes, or your habit is tea, or your habit is pizza. What's your main addiction? I want to say not habit, addiction.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if this
your main one.
I'm about
Just
to
give
tell
me
you.
one.
I'm about to tell you. I don't know if this is a good one. I don't know if it's going to be entertaining or if it's going to be funny or whatever, but
it's got does with money though.
Huh?
I'm gonna convert it to money, a money thing. When you talked about ties and all that.
Okay. All right. Well, let me give it to you. I'm a workaholic. I told myself a long time ago that I was going.
No, not that.
Okay.
We all workaholic. Say
not everybody's a workaholic.
Something that you really, really like that you always gotta have.
Something that I really, really like that I always.
Like my addiction.
Damn.
Say my addiction is pizza and oatmeal cream pie.
So do you want it to be damn it, some cigarettes or some shit like that? Or do you really want to know what my damn fetish is or what my problem is?
I mean, okay, I'm gonna tell you what's mine. Pizza and oatmeal cream pie. So look, check this out. If I'm getting that every
Wait
day,
a minute, the fuck? You
what?
he said pizza and
I'm addicted to it.
wait a minute, you said cream pies.
Oatmeal cream pie.
I can't wait to figure out where you going with this shit here, bro. I don't get it.
No,
but go ahead, man.
Remember, so if I can, that's my habit. I can spend that, that's a budget of $100 a week, right?
Okay.
If I can do that, why can't get a little 10% of my tithes? I
don't have a problem with
They say with a man rob God. Yes, it's not the what is it? Not the net you giving, guys. It's the growth or whatever. The 10%. I have vice versa. Have it go, the more that's coming out. So, man, I look at God as a blessing. So that because I'm giving into that $100 to God as 10%, don't mean I'm looking forward to give my money back. But no. God go make a way regardless.
Okay.
So my blessing can be toward my kids or somebody else who's down or something like that. Some people look at it like, Lord, I gave you 10% to that church and I've been doing it for 20 years and I still ain't got it. Okay. That don't mean it come in form of money and people don't understand. Like, well, he buying the pastor Cadillac. No, it don't come like that. People think at that mindset, but I don't look at it like that. I mean, I've been blessed, man. I got unexpected money. Regardless, and I bless somebody. I said, Lord, this is a seed to them get a job or whatever. And this is my testimony because I did it. I said, Lord, I'm about to sow this $1,000 for my sister. And guess what, Wyatt? I swear for living God, she got the job as a post lady, just like my other sister. See, my baby sister been there 20 years. Now she been there like 3 or 4 months now, Wyatt. So that was my seed. I wasn't sowing no seed. I mean, no. Just to give. I said, Lord, this is my seed and my tithes that my sister get that job she wanted. Okay. So she a postal worker too. So It don't come as like I want the money back. God go bless me regardless.
So you think that when you give tithes to the church, that it's coming blessings in different forms and fashion. It's not going to be monetary.
It's not going to always come back a form. People don't realize that. You think, you just paying for the pastor car. No, it's not. I'm paying for the future of my son to get out of jail, or the health of my sister, auntie, a damn person.
Okay.
And people don't realize. This is my testimony. What I'm saying and my experience, what I'm going through.
I got you.
So we look at it like you go smoke that blunt every day. You drink that Pepsi or that Crown or that Hen Dog or something like that, and you can't take the time out to give God $10 that you unspent on. You went to the strip club and jacked off $500. So that's my problem with that regard. I used to tell my guys, we go on the block and we had sex. I'm like, man, just go to church for a minute. We all, doing one thing. At least give God at least 30 minutes or something like that. Come on, man.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go so I won't, but we doing all this, man. We can give our money to the the Lord after community or something like that. This dirty money anyway, man. Wait, this ain't gonna be forever. And stuff, some people like, that's true. And I used to learn that from old school and my uncles and daddy now.
Okay, we got the testimony, twin. Amen. We got it. All right. Now, let me just say this to you. I don't want you to think that what I was referencing to when I said people tithe, I wasn't saying it as a... No.
I understand you a whole lot. I understand.
Let me just finish. I wasn't saying it to criticize those folks. I was saying that if you have the discipline to tithe 10% of your annual salary to church, you should have that same discipline to tie it to yourself, to save minimum 15%. If you have the discipline to do that, you should be able to have that same discipline to do it for yourself. That's all I was saying. I
understand you a whole lot.
I believe that that I don't have a problem with tithing. I mean, it all depends. Like, let's just be honest. There's good things and bad things in everything. There's good police officers, bad police officers. There's good preachers, bad preachers, good churches, bad churches. So I believe in the trust factor. I'll support what I find to be trustworthy, right? But some, look, man, I find it a little shady. Let me just say it. I find it a little shady when preachers or churches require you to bring your W-2s in or your tax returns in to make sure that you're telling the truth about your tithes.
Okay. Now that's wrong right there, dog.
Well, churches do it. And I think that's I think that's a little shady.
Yeah, that's both. I get up and stick my one finger up in the air. Excuse me, I'll be back. I don't know when I'm coming back, but I'll be back. Okay, yeah, that's dirty. When I heard that about that, and I'm like, man, I don't know what the church is coming to.
I
man.
also had a problem. I had a problem when I grew up in a church. It's fair to say, I grew up at Inspirational Baptist Church. It was in Walnut Hills. Okay, as a little guy, I used to go to church. And on the, what do they call the pamphlets that they pass out to you? The daily,
communion?
Huh? No.
What you?
The program for the day. You know what I mean? The program. They would hand you the program as you walking into the church. It's the program. What's going on and who's gonna do what.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Well, on the back of that program, of our church's program, it always had a list of the church members, who tithe. And it always showed how much money they tithe. And I didn't know as a kid, but looking back on something like that, I don't know how many churches actually did this, but looking back on stuff like that, it put church, as I grew up understanding what business is all about, that was a business move. That's a marketing business move within the church. There's two ways you can look at that. And AK-47 said bulletins. Is that what they're called? The pamphlets that they pass out? I thought it was bulletins. It's two ways I look at that as a grown man today. I say you're advertising people's salaries, because there was one lady that went to our church who really did really well for herself. She was probably the lady that made more money than almost.
Did y'all have a big congregation?
I wouldn't say that. It wasn't huge.
I remember, like you said, they want to see your 401k, your W-2, but dang, to advertise they money like that.
Well, I don't know if it was supposed to be a flex or what, but it was like that.
Wow.
Okay, AK-47 said the church she went to did that. I thought that was normal, but looking at it from as a grown man to this day,
wow.
I just don't think that's right, because the one lady who was making really good money, and I won't say her name, but I'll tell you what she used to do. She was the dean of the College of Nursing years and many, many years ago. And she's a black lady. She was the dean of the College of Nursing at a university, and she made really good money. And when you put, these church members' name on this bulletin, and it shows you how much money they contributed to the church, to me, that's not really a flex. It's kind of like I'm in their business. And it also puts a target on their back. My grandmother was a target on some people. Church is full of people that love God and all that, but it's also a church of needy. All right, there's some people that's some financial binds. They used to call my granny the $30 lady. I used to call her the $30 because somebody always needed $30 for their rent. And she would always do is, she was just a nice person. And when they start seeing your tithing on the back and see how much money you gave, people can figure out how much money you make, because that's the 10%. I just thought it was wrong. And when I see to this day churches that are requiring people to bring in their W-2s or their tax returns to be able to prove what they make, that's not a good look. Because what if I don't really get, say I make $100,000 a year. You want me to give you 10%, which is $10,000. What if I make $100,000, but I have all these obligations that my $100,000 is not really $100,000? I got child support going on. I may be going through some business. I may have some garnishments going out of my money. There's a whole lot of stuff that people go through, and for you to, figure me to be the 10%, 10,000 of my money, and it may not be a real, you know what I'm saying, bro? I just thought it was a little, I don't think it's right to do that. That's just, it's a little much. All right, what else you got, twin? I got to get up out of here. What's up?
I'm gonna close with this. That guy, Mr. Parker, is a former attorney general, right?
Mm.
Lawyer or something like that.
The new consultant at the city of. Let me put his picture up. I'm glad you reminded me because I did bring it up for a hot second.
So he come here to do what?
It says here, Cincinnati has hired former U.S. attorney for Southern Ohio District, Ken Parker, as a consultant to help with public safety strategy and engagement, according to the copy of the contract obtained by Channel 9. According to the contract, Parker has been hired for 1 year at a minimum salary of $199,000 to provide guidance on a variety of public safety incentives, including policy reform. Okay.
So is that for the crime that's happening, the data of black people getting arrested more about white cops?
No. I mean, I'm sure he'll play a part in some of that. I don't know how serious they're taking that. I don't know. I'm not saying they're not taking it serious. I don't know. But
$200,000, you taking some serious. We come here to do consultant fee on something, safety of what? The crime of Cincinnati or the what is it?
Well, he's coming in as a consultant, and he's going to be talking to your city council and probably making recommendations to the city manager of how they can strategically move some of the safety, this crime situation. Because I was under the impression, based on how your mayor talking shit, crime is okay. It's down. It's on the decline, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to see here in Cincinnati about crime on the uprise.
Man, that boy got laid out on that bus. You see how I seen it in a wide group, how they dragged him off the bus like that?
I seen that video. But, I'm not going to talk Cincinnati crime anymore. I'm not going to talk about the obvious. I'm not going to talk about the judges. I'm not going to even bring it up anymore. I gave this platform 4 years of my life talking about exactly how this shit was going to turn out. And now here we are. And I would be on here for 3 hours each day telling you I told you so. And y'all don't want to hear I told you so. So I'm just not even going to talk about the shit that we see. When you got people shooting on Fountain Square, you ain't never had this much shooting on Fountain. 2 and almost within a year. And all this shit that's going on in the city of Cincinnati. And y'all, bro, listen.
No, I want that long as I've been down
all
there.
The stuff I've been talking about for 4 years. This is the buildup of it. The disrespecting of police officers, your fake ass leaders trying to make it seem like the police against everybody. And y'all got these kids out here, 14, 15-year-olds beating up police officers. It might not be in Cincinnati, but what a lot of people don't understand, even in the town, because it's a town, Cincinnati is a town. Even in the town of Cincinnati, y'all have to understand that you're not anything like there's nothing going on in Cincinnati that's not going on other places. The reason why these things are going on is because the same leadership exists in them same cities that you see that this same stuff is going on. The same stuff is going on everywhere. And it's because of the lack of responsibility, the lack of accountability. It's just very obvious. And then you sit back here and wait for the next distraction to happen so we don't have to talk about our own problems. We could talk about what somebody doing to us. That's why y'all want to talk about that little boy that went down to the park with 4 little white boys. That shit mean more to you than 10 little black boys that just got killed in your community in the last year. What that one white boy, that one black dude went through, we don't even know, but we'll sit here and we'll talk about it. We'll make up what we want to make up, but we got pure situations going on in our own cities, and we won't have a real solid conversation about it, nor hold the people accountable. I'm talking about the people who's supposed to be talking about it real loud. Now, I asked some people, how do you feel about $200,000 going to a consultant? You don't have a public safety person on city council getting paid almost $100,000. Why would you want to hire somebody that's going to tell you the same shit? You just fired a police chief who was trying to fix some shit. You got to understand, bro. These are just smoke and mirrors and hidden mirrors. And unfortunately, bro, the only people you couldn't do this shit in a small town. You couldn't do this in a city that's ran right and the taxpayers not not have a fucking cow about all this spending and abusive spending, and it's just the people being told one thing and it's totally the opposite. And broad daylight, you can see that it's the opposite. You can only run this on my people. You can only run this on my people because we love us so much that we're willing to turn a blind eye to nonsense and just dumb shit. We're just willing to do that. And the only reason why nobody's saying anything in the black community that they hired this man, and he's probably a super nice guy. He's probably all about his business, whatever you want to say.
Oh, you don't know him personally?
No, I don't know him personally. But the only reason why black folks aren't saying anything is because he's black. If this was a white administration ran by a bunch of people that's conservative, black, white, or whatever, if it was ran by Republicans or anybody other than whoever they criticize on a day-to-day basis, if it was ran by anybody else, they'd have a problem with this hire. They would have a problem with this hire, and they would have a problem with the police chief being done the way they've been done. They would have a problem with the fire chief being done the wrong way. They would have a problem with all of this. But they don't, because now they have to look at their own. They would have to look at their own leadership and say, "Man, this shit is crazy. What the, this is crazy." They're not gonna do that. Instead, I even heard somebody say some shit the other day, not on the radio, not on the platform. I think I was watching the Chicago mayor. I think I sent it in the Wyatt Live message group. The Chicago mayor said in broad daylight, he said, the reason why we have so much crime going on in the city of Chicago is because of Trump and his allocations of funds. As if Chicago just start getting all this crime and this shooting and murdering in the last 2 years. I mean, see, this is what I'm telling you, bro. It's just so they have programmed things where if you affiliate Trump and all this other stuff, then that is definitely the main focus.
But hey, did you hear him say, well, we ain't got no infrastructure. If you got a problem with the Trump, build some more house, send us 100 million, 100 billion. He said,
do you hear how crazy that is?
Bro, you gave 51 million a month a couple of years ago to migrants. What are you talking about?
But here's the thing, twin. When you got a bunch of people that weren't even paying attention when he was giving away $51 million a month to migrants.
Exactly.
What he's saying right now, he's spitting bars to them. He sound like Nas or Jay-Z when he talking to his people, because they don't know what he was actually doing, because they would rather talk about Trump instead of talking about what they're actually doing. So if you focus on Trump, then it's like 3-card Molly, brother. Keep your eyes over here while I slide the pen over here. That's all it is. And unfortunately, just all of us aren't geared that way. You're not gonna slide that shit off on everybody. Not in 2026.
And it's been that way. People try to talk wide like, oh, this and all that, but until you go into that seat and see for yourself, besides social media and the news, go see for yourself, man. Because I'm like, man, ain't no way this supposed to happen.
Twin,
I had to see it for myself.
Twin, let me ask you something.
Go ahead, dog.
Who paid for all those people them immigrants who went to Chicago? Who paid for all those? Okay, so I mean, I know that's your platform that you listen to. I got no problem with wherever people listen and get their information, but why don't anybody ask them, like, wait a minute, hold on. So please understand, you say that these people don't qualify under HUD. You're right. They don't qualify under HUD to get apartments. They can't go live in Stanley Road.
Man, you have a counterfeit ID. That's all you need. Why? They don't care about that, man.
Where were they getting the $300 a week they were giving to the illegal immigrants? Where did that money come from? Why did they end up going 51? They spent 51 million. When I was saying that for years on this platform, bro, it didn't mean anything. People were making up stuff. They were saying shit like,
that's not true.
Well, yeah, they were saying things like, Trumpster, you just making it up. No, they not. They not doing that. Why are you talking about Chicago? Because big cities are the starting point of nonsense. That's where it starts. The same reason why they drop albums in Chicago or New York before they drop them in the solid Midwest. It's the same reason. They start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's why I talk about Chicago, because if it jump off in Chicago, more likely it's going to hit smaller cities in the Midwest. That's why we talk about Chicago, because that's people don't, I mean, you know, it is what it is. People got to have a reason to avoid the truth. So sometimes you just find yourself in a position. But my thing is this: when you hear people say stuff like that, you got to wonder why are they, how can you be that naive? So 225,000 immigrants hit Chicago with no residents. They dropped them off at the bus station, night by night, bus by bus. And I'm asking y'all, who paid for them people to live in apartments for a while or hotels? How did they eat? Where did that money come from? But yet they'll say deceptively, well, the government, this is, y'all lying. These people don't even qualify for WIC. These people don't qualify for public housing. You're right, because that's federal. What's the state rule? Make them talk about something that they don't talk about on a regular basis. Make them say something other than Trump. Make them. It's just, to me, it rattles my mind. You know, there has to be a reason why somebody concentrates only on one side all the time. What is going on? And you're failing. Your kids have 3rd grade reading levels, graduating out to 12th grade, and you're spending money on people coming in from other countries and not focusing on your own people. Explain that to me. You don't want any help from the federal government to help you cut down on the crime in your city. You think, here's the thing. I'm going to step out of Chicago. Let's go to California where Drop Squad is. They spend billions of dollars on homelessness over the last 10 years. Billions of dollars. When you do the breakdown and you say, okay, this is how much money that we have contributed to homelessness, and then this is the count of homeless people in our city, it averages out to be $85,000 per person. What city has... What people in what city in the United States of America can't live off $85,000 a year and they ain't had nothing to do? I mean, you're not going to live plush in California making $85,000 a year, but you can live pretty damn good if you ain't got no obligations in California. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like living in Cincinnati with no obligations, living rent-free, insurance-free, just free, and you make $30,000 a year. You're living good. That's all I'm saying to you. So, 20 cents on the dollar only go to the program. 80% of the money that's used in all these scams and schemes of these programs go towards keeping the program active, which means salaries, rents, you know what I'm saying? Conventions and all this old shit, stroking checks to the next part. Go ahead, twin. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
That's all I got to say, Wyatt. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Appreciate you engaging with us today, twin. I'm almost at the end of the rope on this. I don't even want to talk about Cincinnati crime. I don't even want to talk about... Listen, you got cats getting shot at the bus, on the bus now. What? Guns. It's the guns' fault. We got a gun problem in Cincinnati. No, you don't have a gun problem. I keep saying this. You don't have a gun problem. Let me tell y'all something that I seen today. And this is a true story, and I can't apply any names, okay? Because this family, I don't know them, and they don't really know me, but I had a conversation with them today. There was a situation where a lady was in court this morning. Now, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but this is the God honest truth on my mama and my grandmama's grave. There was a situation where a lady was in court, and she was in there for an assault. Guess what she was in an assault for? She assaulted her son. Now, that sound bad. It sound bad. It sound horrible. But that lady, the son came to the door to talk to the judge. And he said, the judge asked him, and the kid is only 14. But the son showed up at court with his family. They had cousins, uncles. They were locked, loaded as a family. They show up. The little 14-year-old get up to the door to say something. The judge asks him, "Is this your mom?" He says, "Yeah." I mean, he was being ignorant. Yeah. The mother said, "Is that your?" The judge said to the mother, "Is that your son?" Because he didn't have ID or anything. She looked at it over and she said, "Yes, sir." The mother is being held on an assault charge because she hit her son with like a stick or something. He's 14. He ain't no little bitty boy. He ain't the biggest kid. He ain't Shaq, but he's a 14-year-old boy. Okay. He's a young man. The judge is looking at the paperwork and I see the look on his face. Like, wait a minute. I ain't got no crazy ass mother here. This lady ain't never been in no trouble. She ain't got no criminal record. So I'm watching him. I know this judge, and I'm listening to him, and he started asking her questions. He started asking the young man questions. Do you love your mother? The white judge. The uncles and the cousins in the aisle. Yes, sir. No, sir. You say yes, sir. No, sir. The young man says, yes, sir. I love my mom. So then the judge asked him, said, well, he can't ask certain questions that'll lead into the case. So he's being very careful because everything's being recorded. You know, it goes on the record. He asked the mother, he asked the son, do you fear for your life? Are you scared? Do you need a TPO? Blah, 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 blah. The whole normal regular thing. But I see the judge's reaction is like, okay, what I see here is a mother trying to save her son. Yeah, I seen the same thing. I see a mother who is willing to risk herself for her own son's survival out here. She's trying to keep him off the streets. He gave her a very, very small bond. I mean, damn near free. No problem with it whatsoever. I stopped the family. I stopped the cousins, the uncle, the young man. Gave him my card and I told him, I said, listen, man, your mother loves you. She's just trying to keep you off these streets. She hit your ass with that stick because I know you acting crazy. I've been there, young man. I know she just trying to save you. She's just trying to save you. And this young man was he was like, yes, sir. He was so cool. Yes, sir. He says, I said, here's my card. You call me when shit get tough out here for you. And this young man looked at me and he just did his hand. He balled his hand up and gave me a dap. That little boy don't supposed to be out on the street, y'all. He ain't built for the streets. If that mother don't continue to do what she do, and it's just crazy that she would have to catch a case to save her own son. But I can't go by and see a mother try to save her son like that and not try to help some kind of way. Because that's the type of mother, if she gonna be out here doing it and have all that family support, that's the type of mother whose door we need to be knocking on and saying, you the shit. You the shit. You doing what you, because look, the influence is more powerful than her at this point. She gonna lose that boy to the streets if we don't all help her out. See, y'all want to get down there and holler at City Hall and hire consultants on the crime and all that old shit. You ain't knocking on the right doors. I bet you this consultant ain't gonna go to the Fay Apartments and knock on one door. He ain't gonna do that shit. He ain't gonna sit down in court and watch these stories and listen to what's going on and how these situations are panning out. He ain't gonna do that. And that ain't nothing against him. That has nothing to do with him. It's all about how your leadership accept what's really going on and how you can't, if you're not accepting what's going on properly, then you will never have a proper fix. You'll never be able to fix a problem that you pretending either don't exist or pretending we got a gun violence problem. No, we don't. We got a problem with little dudes disrespecting their mamas and their daddies. We got a problem with daddies not being there teaching their sons. We got a problem with uncles being show-offs to these little boys. We got a problem that ain't got nothing to do with guns. It don't have nothing to do with guns. I know plenty of black kids that if you put a gun in their hand, bro, they'll drop it. Using a gun and being out in these streets is a mentality. That's a mental thing. That's a mentality. You're not born a fucking gangster. You're taught how to be a gangster. That same killer instinct that you have of being a drug dealer could be the same killer instinct that you have to be a pharmacist. The same killer instinct that you have to be out here on the block and out in the cold serving dope on the corner and all that old shit. You could be out on a construction site in that cold weather with your name on the side of a truck. But if you're never given that opportunity nor shown that type of life, you don't stand a chance. And they're not born with that mentality. They're taught it. When you live in a city and people talk that shit, well, you can't arrest yourself out of these projects. Yes, you can. And I'm going to say it to anybody you bring on here to debate me. Yes, you can. That mother that was in front of that judge today sacrificed herself. Sacrificed herself. I'm going to beat your ass before you go out here and I have to bury you. I'll go to jail before you go to jail. That judge this morning made him say, I love my mama. He asked him, do you love your mother? He said, yeah, I love my mother. Now, the judge can't say anything that's pertaining to the case because this is just a bond hearing. But it take us to step in and fill in them blanks of what's going on with our, look, it's not my responsibility to raise twin kid, Stephen Speed kid, LaDonna kid. That ain't my responsibility. But what's my responsibility, I feel, is, hey, if twin needs some help, Stephen Speed needs some help, LaDonna needs some help, if they need to know something, if they need a resource, then I can do that. I can do that. There was no way in hell I was going to let them people go pay that bond. When I know that I can I'm going to go get her. I got it. I don't want y'all to spend a dime because that's the type of mother. If she going to do this shit on her own, if all she has is distant cousins and uncles and all that other shit in the family and they still come into support, yeah, she's trying to do the right thing. And like I said, the young man, he might not ever call me. I don't know. He got my card. He put it in his pocket. And I said, bro, you give me you call me when shit get tough. That's the young man that's ready to learn something. He's hungry. He's hungry for knowledge. He ready to learn something. So it's either his mama, his uncles, his cousins, they either gonna teach him something or these streets gonna teach him something. Where they want to learn. Last call of the day. I'm going to the last call. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Fascinating. This is CK calling out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
CK, what's good with you? Cincinnati King, how you doing today?
Man, I feel great, man. In the Queen City, I'm listening to you. And these mothers raise these boys to be feminine, and they streets make them bleed like a menstrual cycle, sir. Ooh. So don't think you can get out here talking stuff behind men back and it don't come back. You see what I'm saying? You must respect all men and women the same. We all are the same. Don't disrespect nobody. Got to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Don't start no shit. It won't be no shit. But you always got a disrespectful motherfucker that get the shit started. You hear me? And then a fight leads to gunshots. Mind your business. Stop being disrespectful. Don't nobody want to hear your opinion. See, that's where they jump off. Somebody always want to say something slick. Like, oh, man, oh, Wyatt, he ugly. Boom. What you even say that for, nigga? You should have kept that to yourself. Oh, you thought he wasn't going to get back to him? Bam. Now what you got to say? See what I'm saying? Just be respectful at all times. Penitentiary rules is in effect at all times. Do you understand?
I hear you.
Don't disrespect nobody. It won't be no fight. It don't matter even, you could be a blood, I could be a Crip. If it ain't no disrespect, ain't nobody gonna trip. The disrespect is what jump it off. You know how it go. You could be a Ku Klux Klan member in the line at Walmart. I ain't gonna say nothing. But once the disrespect starts, that's when it pop off. Mind your business.
Okay.
You see, opinions get you smoked out here. Don't you agree? You ain't got to tell everybody what you think.
I hear you.
See, yeah, you be wanting to say the N-word. Okay, keep saying that N-word. Is the right person gonna hear it, and they're gonna respond, and you gonna never say the N-word again. You might not do nothing again. Same with any other racial slur. But I'm talking about the N-word because I'm black, and I don't respect nobody saying it, even though I say it, but I'm not perfect. But I'm telling these folks how to live. That's why the streets respect me. Ain't no disrespect. You respect your elders. You respect everybody. I got a daddy. That's what make me different. Most of these niggas, like I said, most of these people that's soft, that's black, was born, raised by their mamas, and they soft. They ain't like you, Wyatt. So that's one thing I like about you. You was raised by your mama, but it kind of seemed like you can't really tell because you trying to set an example for your daughters. Weird shit. Everybody I know like you is soft. I'm telling you the truth. I got all them women influences and daughters and wives in a female household. They act like them. You the only one still kept your manhood living in a female environment. Your thoughts?
Okay. I had my time. Some of the things that I did as a young person, I'm talking about a young man, CK, I'll be honest with you, bro. I 100% agree with you. I had a lot of feminine, you could tell that a lady raised me. You could tell. I could, the fact that I would want to argue, the fact that I just, there was just things that I knew that men raised men different. And, for years, I've already told my listeners this for years. I said it when it wasn't popular. I was probably one of the very first ones on podcasts in the last 6 years that said these things when it wasn't popular.
Right.
Now you got entertainers, people that they love saying this stuff. And now it's like, it's a bar when other people say it. When I said it, people went crazy. I lost a lot of people. I lost a lot of listeners and, people that don't even rock with me no more because of the things that I said. And that's okay. Because if you
experience taught us this, didn't it? Remember, we had to learn, we had to get to our 50s. We could have got murdered thinking the way we could have been thinking the wrong way, but we lived and we evolved and we learned that this is who we are. So this is what keep me an advantage on lots of men. You got to remember, I came on here yesterday. LaDonna said, "Here comes another dummy." See, the disrespect is natural. You see, she naturally disrespect the nigga just because I'm black. If I was white, she wouldn't have said that shit. But she's black and I'm black. So her first thing she said, "Here comes another dummy," because she wants to hurt me. She wants to take me out. She mad that I'm still breathing. Do you understand?
I hear you.
See, but why? But you have to address that. A woman of that age still trying to hurt and destroy another black man. Where do you think that comes from? Do you think that's insecurity?
No, not really. I don't know if it's insecurity more so than, I don't know. I very seldom call somebody stupid because of their opinion.
He said dummy. Remember, she's trying to humiliate. She's trying to remember, we can't talk about the white man because the black woman tries to destroy us more than the white man. So why the fuck is we talking about, the black woman don't get protected? Why the fuck would we protect the black woman that hate the black man? Think about what they're saying. We're the least protected, but you hate us the most. So make this shit make sense. Soon as I come in, I'm talking good. I'm praying for your family. I'm saying great for your daughter to go into med school. And she said, I'm a big dummy. That's what she thinks about her own fucking family. So I'm black like her. So imagine this is how you break it down. You can't accept shit like that just because you cool with her. You have to discipline everybody. Like, look, that's not right. So you got to call your own brother. Where's that shit coming from, Donna? So is that hate for me or is that hate for herself? Or is that hate for the black man in general?
I don't know, bro. I think that we all deal with things a little bit differently. Okay. And I don't know. I get a little frustrated sometimes. Just today, I was frustrated because of what I heard on another platform on my way in, and I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't listen for 5 minutes because I knew it was misinformation and I knew it was poisoning the brain of the listeners. Okay, when I hear certain things and I know it's wrong, and these are supposed to be people that are supposed to be informative, and they're giving information that's kind of just making us stay dormant in our minds about things. You know, I can't get mad, but I do get frustrated. And sometimes my frustrations come out as anger. Okay. And it's not really anger, it's just frustration. I think there's two different things. Maybe it's not anger that's coming. I'm sorry. Maybe it's not anger that's coming out of her mouth. Maybe it's frustration.
And the frustration is, I'm telling the truth. I'm saying, thank God for fathers like you that got your daughter through med school. Yeah, I'm praying for your family. So it's hurting her so bad. It's like, so she really, the truth, I'm making the truth come out of her where she's not happy for you. She's not glad that your daughter's in med school. She hate a nigga that's praising you for doing it. So it can't be the things I'm saying. It was so how can she be frustrated for what I'm saying when I'm saying positivity, sir?
Well, because sometimes, look, CK, like, I'm not taking up. I'm just giving you a kind of like a map.
Indeed.
Okay. Sometimes, okay, it's like this. I could say this. I could say, you know, CK, and I'm just hypothetically speaking. I could say something like this. I was out at the casino with my wife, and I ran into CK and his girlfriend or his woman, and we were all at the Hollywood Casino in Cincinnati, Ohio, having dinner. CK has the prettiest little woman in the world and blah, blah, blah. I could keep going on and on and on saying everything positive about you, right? And that situation. And then I could say something maybe like, I didn't like his outfit. You know, like he had on Brute instead of, you know, Yves Saint Laurent. He had on this and this and that, or he had on these tennis shoes or whatever. Now, don't disregard or discount everything great I said about you. When I said something about I didn't like the shoes you were wearing, don't focus on the negative. Some people tend to do that. Some people tend to, and unfortunately, it's not just you. It's not, I'm not saying you're doing it. It's just not certain people that you call out. Okay. Some people don't know how to compliment. Some people only speak when they have something negative to say. And then, and those are the type of people that will never say, look, you and your girl look great that night. They may only talk about what outfit you had on that night. And your girl could
see, that's why I excel, because I'm above everyone, because I'm the one that goes out and says the positive. I talk about your daughter doing good. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm saying he's a great father. He's doing this. He's doing educated. So when she hears that, she gets fear. That's fear of greatness. That is the crab in the barrel. Remember? She hates me for no. She never said anything good. She just hates me for being alive.
No.
My what is it?
Hold on.
Okay.
Listen, I know Donna, okay, from when I was a child on up to me being a grown ass man. I'm not gonna sit here and say she don't like that. It's not possible what you're saying is true. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying, what I will say is this: I think you're taking what Donna is doing out of you're feeling like she's attacking the positives that you do. I don't think that's what it is. Now, let me just say this: attacking the positive, when you say something positive, let's just use you and I, because this is the best way I can do this. When you say positive things about me being a dad and blah, 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 I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I don't think Donna is calling you stupid. Let me tell you the person that's hating on that situation. The person that's hating on a situation like that is somebody that'll say something like, damn, why does he look up to him? Why does he say such positive stuff? Why don't he stop glazing him? Why don't he stop? That's the negative person that don't like you or me. It's not the person that's saying that because you said something about something else and now you're tying it into the positive things. Maybe she don't agree with something that you said about something else, and now you're starting to hear it, but yet you thinking it's about the positive things that you're saying about me, my family, my daughters, or whatever. I've seen you come on here, say positive things about me, and I've read people in the chat. These are the people that I really don't want to be bothered with. They will say he on Wyatt nuts or whatever. And those are compliments. Those are worthy compliments that I take serious. And some people will hate on, not necessarily you, bro. They just want to try to make it odd and kind of make it a clown show because you will say something positive and it ain't got nothing to do with you. They don't want me to get the compliment.
Right. But you have to, like you said, but it's in semen because I just want you to understand that you gotta understand when they see me, I'm on the internet just like you. They see my personality. They hate my existence. I'm trying to tell you, my existence is hated. If I was dead, maybe she would talk good about me. But by me being still here as a black man, she wouldn't want me to be, she don't want me to be happy. So she calls me a dummy to try to bring down my self-esteem. It's a black woman trying to bring down self-esteem. This is what's bringing down America, sir.
Let's do this. I quite honestly, I want to keep this one positive, and I want us to find something in the middle here. Okay, I don't like it when we get to this black man, black woman, she don't like me shit because I'm, this is how we do each other. I think people do each other like that no matter who. I mean, Mexicans do Mexicans like that. I was
being totally positive. She said the dummy. She brought in the negativity. Now you're saying we. It was only one person being negative, sir.
I'm not suggesting that she wasn't being negative. I'm saying she may not have been negative towards your positive talk. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe you said something that she didn't agree with in another, at another time. And now that you happen to be talking to some, it's all about timing, CK. I don't know how to say this to you, bro, but Donna is not the type of person that's going to hate you because you say something positive about me. She's not.
You don't think she wish I was dead and she'd be happy if she found out, like I was on the news, I was shot in the face 3 times and dead. You don't think that'll make her smile or laugh a little bit, chuckle?
No.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, I just want to ask you about this Big Tigger. How did you feel about Big Tigger and he's trying to get the football from his wife's stomach?
Okay.
Did you see that?
Once again, I don't know a lot about that story. I happen to see
You didn't watch it.
But see how you came in with misinformation? You don't even know where you're misinformed on that, do you?
My bad. Damn.
You said that his wife... I
like how you, but you so great because you still took up for the black woman when she was attacking your #1 fan. You still took up for the black woman because you got all daughters and you got a wife. So that it don't matter. You always take up for black women. That's why I love your show.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm not that. I'm not that guy who don't hold black women accountable. I'm not that dude that need cheers from the back row or the front row or the middle row. I don't co-sign a lot of things that black women do just to sound good to my audience. I don't do that. I don't need, that's the easy shit. It's easy to sit here and agree and call black women queens and they ain't got no king. It's easy to do that shit. I can make anybody feel good. All right. But that's not my purpose in life. My purpose is not to sit here and try to massage people's ears or their ego. That's not what I'm here to do. I speak what I speak from experiences, and I hold situations accountable. And if there's black leadership that happen to be women, I hold them accountable. And men, I'm not the type of person who you could say to me, I'm attacking her like Jasmine Crockett. When she say something wild and crazy, people get offended because I pull out her wild and crazy. I say that shit crazy. That don't even make any sense. When Don Lemon say something wild and crazy, these are people that other people take up for as if they're flawless, like they can't make a mistake. And I'm saying to myself, bro, the reason why we think like this is because this person is passing this type of information and it's not accurate. See what I'm saying? And if we continue to, massage these people as if they're telling the truth or act like they're not, flawless or act like, they're not telling us some bullshit, then we're going to continue to sit dormant in this space and being a victim. And
but let me explain greatness to you. You on a different side of the Carmelo Anthony case than me, right? We have two different respective opinions.
What was your side?
We don't disrespect each other's character. I don't tear you down as a man. You don't tear me down. We just disagree on a case. We don't make it personal. I think that's where we gotta work on as black people. Stop making everything personal. And I gotta disrespect your family just because you feel some way about the case. It's just a simple case.
I'm with you 100% on that. I'll give you a perfect example of how right you are. There'll be a lot of hurt feelings if people were brave enough to speak the truth out loud and just not be shy, because there's one side of the aisle. I'll be honest with y'all. There's one side of the aisle that people can't be honest with, because if you become honest with them and tell them the truth about what's really going on, they become enemies. They'll talk bad about you. I mean, it's happened to me on this platform. You got people that used to listen to this platform that I had mad respect for. I would give respect to them. Didn't really earn it. It was just something that I gave. I gave the respect, and it was bro this, and I look up and hey, this and this and that. And then when we have a disagreement, now I'm enemy number one, and I'm all these names and all this other shit, and I never talk bad about these people. See what I'm saying? So there's one group where if you don't agree with their politics, or if you don't agree with what, you got to be all this other shit. You can't be an individual with a difference of opinion. You got to be all this other shit. And that's what keep dishonest people in them circles. Look at what's going on in the city of Cincinnati with all that killing and all that old shit. When somebody
murder gang at the bus stop.
And you know what? Let me say this to some of y'all, because some of y'all listening, if y'all listening in the back row and you acting like you're not really here. You got guys who have social media influence in the city of Cincinnati who sat back and co-signed a bunch of bullshit and would be talking that Trump shit and this and that. Now all of a sudden you starting to put on your web pages or your social media pages. Now all of a sudden y'all want to start talking about the shit that Wyatt been talking about in broad daylight. Now y'all want to put on y'all page, where's the black leadership? It's the same leadership that y'all had when you was sitting back co-signing and championing the bullshit. It's Indeed. The same leadership. It's the same city council. It's the same everything that you had from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and 6 years ago. And y'all they don't watch this show. They do, but they pretend not to watch this show. They don't like anything. They don't want to have any conversation with me over here because they know what I'm saying is right. They know what I'm saying.
Hold on. Let me get you right there. The Wyatt privilege. Do you want to know what Wyatt privilege is?
What's that?
The Wyatt privilege is when you made that promise to God and your wife, now you ain't just one of them dudes that got a white wife. So now your blackness can't be challenged. That's a privilege. Now I'm married to a black woman. I got kids by a black woman. We still together. We've been together for years. See what I'm saying? So that's privilege. So shit you say, so nobody can really challenge your blackness because of your home. Well, you see what I'm saying?
Let me say
that's Wyatt privilege. Most of us ain't married and got a whole bunch of family behind us that can support like that. We just out here by ourselves.
Let me say something to that. That's 100% correct. Now let me just take it to another level. The reason why what they can use, you say they can't use it because I'm married to black and I got black kids, all that old shit. No, what they do is they go back to the schoolyard. They go back and use something from the manipulative days, the early manipulative days, and that is his light-skinned ass or the white boy. See what I'm saying? They have to always bring in these criticisms that to validate their bullshit or to make everybody fall in line of the goofiness. That's what happens. You know, you got to say that's that light skin shit. But no, you're right. I grew up in the projects. I lived on the 4th floor. I'm everything. I went through everything that these people excuse. I'm talking about.
And you married a sister. And you had light skin. You could have got a white girl. You still married a sister. No, remember? You could have used your light skin to get a white woman, but you didn't.
That's okay, I guess. But what I'm saying to you is people will call what I'm about to say elitist, because they love to put definitions on truth so people will ignore the truth or they'll make fun of the truth. But I don't care, because like I told you before, the majority, most of the time, the majority of people are all in the same boat. Some of them are only there because they ain't never been part of nothing in their life and they easily influenced. You understand?
Right.
And most of the time, the reason why the majority is what they are is because they ain't got nowhere else to go. They can't swim outside of the fish tank. They can't function in a world. They're not willing to take those risks and be able to live outside of the world that they've been growing up in, they can't do it. So instead of just trying to surrender yourself and say, hey, I'm going to give it all that I have and I'm going to make myself a better life. I'm going to do certain things. I'm going to see things right. No, what they do is they take the easy route and they go in with the majority of people. And the majority of people, that's the easy way. If everybody is doing the same thing and screaming the outcome and screaming the same problem in the same situations, then everybody can justify being in the situation that they in. Everybody can have an excuse. It wasn't for me. They told me I couldn't get it. Man, you too. They told me I couldn't get it. And ain't nobody really, they tried one time and never stepped back into that baseball line. They never went back to see the pitcher again.
And let me leave you with this. If you was, say you was married to a white woman, I would be using that shit against you in the Carmelo Anthony debate. I'd be like, well, you don't understand. Why? Because you married a white woman. See, it would be different then, but I can't say that because you're not. See, you can't just make up facts. So now I'm saying that's privilege. Like, okay, when he speaks, he has validity to what he said because it's not about hating his people or nothing. Like, he's talking from a real opinion. It's not about, an agenda. He just believes this certain thing. I believe this way. So I respect you, man, and I never disrespect your character.
Well, I appreciate that, but let me just say this. Yes,
sir.
When you say they, I'm talking about the people that you're referring to. When I say that, it's hard. They would say, like you said, if I was married to a white lady or whatever, it would not only that, because there were people on here that used to say before they even knew like who my wife was or any of that, they were shocked that I was married to a black woman.
Yeah, me too. I was one of them.
Yeah. So
because of how you talk.
But that's okay. But see, I grew up in an era where I was teased because I was light skinned. I was teased because I didn't say things like I'm fencing to go to the store. My mother made me speak a certain kind of way growing up because she said, you're not supposed to be in here. We looking for bigger and better things for you. See what I'm saying? I got teased for wanting to be better. It was why would we do that to one another? See, that's where I'm with you, CK, how we do one another. Why would you tease someone that's trying to be better than who they are, or who wants to improve their life? Why would you tease that? And why would you put them in a category of people that you have labeled as being horrible people?
You're right.
Why would you say to somebody who's looking to, and here go the thing, bro. Some people block their own blessings because bro, I got resources. And there's people that just won't even deal with me. And not just me. I'm talking about people that act like me or do what we do. Like, it's a double-edged sword, CK. It's
you
a
was
double-edged sword.
You was the first one that was real. Remember I said it was some lookalikes like you. It was people that act like you, but then when you go down and you look a little deeper, they not the real deal. Then you found Randall. It's like three guys like you, but you the one all the way official. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but it's people that's like you, but it ain't authentic like Cincinnati 513 mentality.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, CK. Hey,
Thank you, brother.
I got to run, man. I got a 4:30 meeting. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you guys tomorrow right here on Wyatt Live at 1 o'clock. It'll be probably 1 o'clock when we get on, okay? Peace and love to you all.
Yeah. Talk to me. See, this day and age, these young niggas getting paid. Wrist clear, Sprite, yeah. Mike Tyson, bike, yeah. Cup real dirty, yeah. Motocross bike, yeah. We don't fist fight, chop up real life. Double seal tight. Detroit got me right. Bigelow Green is millions. And the old money got mildew. Kick her out cause she keep filming. They calling me Bob the Builder. Quavo Paul Pearson. Whip up Paul Wilson. Put my all in that bowl. Put my all in it. I want all my dogs to win it. I want all my dogs to win it. Remember my dog was sentenced. No, I ain't gonna take it back to the beginning. Just get in the Benz and sit in. Come on. Get in there. Chill. Come on. Standing in the trap, been a long day. Thinking about putting insurance on my wrist and AK. Mama tired, daddy died. Ain't no real housewives. Now it's no more crime, cause we up an echelon. I can make a Tuesday go up like a Saturday. I don't play where you fools play. You must be from out of state. Miley, your girl dinner plate. You take her on dinner dates. Having in Rep Simmons, yeah, I dressed a huncho every day. Yeah, Ricky Lake, wrapped up, came from Kuwait. Yeah, every day, young nigga looking for bait. Taught a bitch on Jimmy and she do whatever huncho say. Her boyfriend wanna be me cause I keep that shit the gangster way. Oh. I got to put you down, hey man. These niggas going outside. I'm telling you, can't go out bad. No, especially about that bitch. I'm not going outside. No, I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. Especially about that bitch. I can't go outside. I can't go outside. I can't go outside. Especially about that bitch.
Not about the bitch. No, not about the bitch. She called just for say that's your bitch. Hey, I'm young and rich, but I can strong arm a brick. I heard you was born a bitch. Rick Owens, they cost your rent. Pay up, straight up. But John Wick got to put the K up. I'm a smasher, but we don't lay up. I'm a bachelor, get your weight up. Thought of not, bitch, you know where we from. Think it's sweet and we pull out a drum. You can be rich in the bum. I want it all, not some. She fucking for fame for some. I think she came for money. I swear I ain't heard for nothing. So I just gave the money. Hoes in my house like Hugh Hefner, but I'ma slay the bunny. She going insane, she talk about my man, quit saying my name, lil' mama.
I got to put you down, hey man. These niggas going outside. I'm telling you, can't go out bad. No, especially about that bitch. I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. Especially about that bitch. I can't go outside. I can't go outside. I can't go outside. Especially about that bitch.
Take out, I can't go out. Sad about no bitch. Sad. Who me? Take out, never mad about no bitch. Depressed, need to get some of my chest. Ain't stressed about that bitch. She lit, me nut on her chest. You still arrest that bitch. Bad, yellow mama, bad. You let her get the check and crash. That's going out, sad. You took her on a date with dad. The question is, boy, did you smash? But stronger, week and a half, and everything you get to get a bitch half. Oh man, god damn, these niggas going outside. Wife and hoes up there, not one nigga, the hood done been had. Smack cuff, you can pass. Ignore, but can't erase a pass. If she fool you once, shame on her. If she fool you twice, it's your ass. Take off.
I got to put you down, hey man. These niggas going outside. I'm telling you, can't go out bad. No, especially about that bitch. I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside.